Yo, yo, what's going on, everyone? Hear me?
Hey,
There's two of them up there, man.
What's going on, Jason? What up, Joe?
What's up? What's up?
Not much, man. Just trying to figure out this StreamYard.
Hey, we're up, man. You're good.
Yeah, I know. I was up twice. Fucked around and did something, and then I had to do it all over again.
Hey, man. Blame it on the Blue Chew.
Shit. Blame it on age. Back in my younger days, I would have figured this shit out a long time ago, man. I don't have patience anymore. See, that's old man issues right there. Joe done dropped out again. Come on, senior citizen. What the hell is going on?
Hey, man, that's you, man. This is the last time
I didn't kick your ass. You dropped.
You sit up here calling people and shit. Hey, what's up, Chad? What's up,
Chad? That's what happened. They kick your walker.
All right. How's everyone doing out there?
Yeah, your mic is low.
Is it? What about now? You got me?
Still low, real low.
That's on your end, man. I got a brand new computer. I gotta take it back though.
Hey, Bushcrafter, send me your information to that email, man, and we hook up. Because if you're right here in this area, man, shoot, you know, we can link up and hit the range or something.
Yeah, so I guess so tonight, you know, talking about EDCs and everything else, some of the things to consider, you know, like where you live at, your environment, concealability, shootability, of course, cost, you know. So what's your thoughts on that?
You know, Gina said you sound good on their end, man. For some reason, you're low over here. I can barely hear you.
You change your batteries.
Yeah, I ain't got no batteries, man.
Change your batteries in your
my hearing aid.
Hearing aids, man. You got that little thing up to your ear doing like that and shit. Turn sideways, you can hear.
Shit, maybe it's this damn StreamYard.
Hey, hold on for a minute.
All right.
Hey.
Okay. Just delete that line.
Let's see what we got in here. What's going on, Gina? Willie, Jason Ewing, AK Lover, Damien. What's that, Mr. Bullshitter? Shifter? Let's see.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was tech support. They said your system's messed up, Granddad.
So what you gotta do? Roll out and go. You gotta go back.
No, man. They said that you need to update your hearing aids.
Oh, you talk about me? Yeah, you full of shit.
No, so hey, anyone in the chat, hey, thanks for joining us. And again, today's topic is going to be EDCs. And feel free to put some questions in the chat, give us your opinion, give us what you think, everything else. Again, this isn't a one size fits all. This isn't a one solution is best for everyone type deal. This is, what do you carry and why, your preferences, and again, if you have any questions, type them in the chat. We'll answer them as best we can. And then I'm sure some other people in the chat got some good information to share. Granddad?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why I can't hear you, man.
You got your speaker turned on, man?
Yeah, I got all this shit on, man.
All right, everyone else can hear you, right?
Yeah, I know they can hear me.
You know we live, man.
Yeah, I know we live. They know I cuss.
Okay. I don't know, man. Maybe it's those Luther burgers you was making.
Oh, that's what it is, man.
See, there you go, man.
No, we're still on the phone too.
We ain't on no damn phone.
Well, no, hold on. Let me hang up.
You on the phone.
There we go.
Hey, you on the phone. Boy, technology kicking your ass.
Yeah, it sure is, man. Shoot. Look, here come our mail device not connected. We let his old ass in too.
So, any questions from the chat? I mean, what's the chat looking like? What do you guys think? What's your preferred EDC? What caliber? Or Urban got jokes.
Yeah. And that's how we get down. Shoot, when you get over 50, you just get grumpy and don't give a damn.
What you mean over 50, man? I just had a hard life.
Yeah, shoot, yeah, all right. Yeah, I keep forgetting you in your early 30s.
Shit, I ain't but 27.
Yeah, all right.
No, right. So what's your because it was good for concealment for me, I went to SIG. So like with Gina, and again, some of the things to take in consideration is your shootability and everything else on it. I really honestly think that SIG P365 is a good platform because it's modular, and it's modular more in the sense that you can swap out back straps. You can actually take out that fire control unit and put it in different size grip modules, and you can put it in different frames. You can run integrally compensated frames, uppers. You can get external compensators for it. You can go with a 3.7-inch barrel. You can go to 3.1-inch barrel. So, and your capacity on it too. You go anywhere from 10 to 15 to 17 rounds on it. So I think the 365 is a good choice.
What up, RGG? Howard J.
People here already?
17 HMR, man. Come on, Howard J. 17 HMR. I have yet to see a 17 HMR.
Say what?
Pistol.
You guys were serious.
Yeah, we were serious. All right, and don't make me mute you because you've been and said something off the wall or whatever.
I ain't gonna.
So
Don't you ain't gotta mute me. Man. You ain't gotta mute me. But I ain't believe y'all was serious. I thought we was coming.
We told you 7 o'clock.
Yo, let me get my EDC. I ain't never say no 7 o'clock, man. Let me get my EDC.
Hold on, man.
Hey,
Virginia Bushcraft got a question with knives. Virginia Bushcrafter. The cool thing about knives is kind of tricky because some places got restrictions on the length of the knife, whether it's a folder, whether it's a fixed blade, and all that stuff can change. The one thing about knives is they hurt. A lot of people would rather get shot than get stabbed. You can generate a lot of force and energy with a knife. One of the things is try to get it somewhere to where you're legal, but you got a little bit more standoff, because remember, a handgun, a rifle, a firearm is a distance weapon. A knife is real up close and personal.
I like this one.
And you have to be careful with that because if you go up against someone that knows how to fight, they can disarm you if you're not trained with knife fighting. And a lot of people don't know how to fight with edged weapons. So
I'm telling you, people don't know how to fight at all, Joe. Most people, we talk about people who haven't been in a gunfight. There's people who haven't even been in fisticuffs. You know what I mean? There's people who haven't even been in fisticuffs. So, and the knife fighting, man. I got a knife fight with my my ex-Puerto Rican girlfriend. Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, man.
Regular gun guy, what up? Howard J, what up, man? Devil Row, what? That boy he been hanging out with you, Joe. He been incognito. Virginia Bushcrafter, I reached out to you, man. We got to hook up. We here in Virginia.
Yeah, I just told him that. Hey, I was looking that up. I didn't know anything about the knives here in Virginia, and I'm not seeing anything that says as far as the length of a knife.
Yeah, so if you look at
we don't have a length of a knife in Virginia.
Go to your Virginia State Police, and they'll regulate like all weapons and everything else. They'll regulate handguns for concealed carry, open carry, and they'll also have a state statute on the length of the knives. And that's where you'll generally find it.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Right. So it reads something like no auto folders or knives with automatic openings, no ballistic knives, unless you're military, law enforcement, stuff like that. That's always a caveat. Now, the bad thing about that is if you are military, ex-law enforcement, does your right to own that end? You just spent $200-$300 for a real nice knife, and now you can't have it.
This is what I did, like seriously, because I was working in New York, and New York is just as bad about knives as they are guns. Like, they're serious for real. So when I used to ride the train, I don't ride the train a lot, but sometimes I do because I'm parked far away and I need to get to another site. So I used to have, go Home Depot. They got like $19.99. It's called the Milwaukee duck knife. It's a duck's knife, like DUCT, duck.
Yeah, duck.
The red one, y'all seen me, Joe. You seen me? I carry it all the time.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's a real life knife. It's just like one of these daggone. It's like one of these. It's a 6-inch blade, the whole 9 yards. And that's a tool because it got the Milwaukee symbol on it. But that's a tool. But that knife is just like one of these. But you get it from like the hardware store or something like that. And it's not like supposed to be a knife. It's a tool for cutting duct.
Yeah.
Ducting.
So also one of those things too, in certain states, they make a distinction between a knife as a weapon and a knife as a tool or something for utility. So you kind of have to be careful about that. So like the lawyers always said, right? If you're going to carry a bat, carry a glove, help your lawyer out. So if you can't carry a straight razor, switchblade, anything like that, and you do decide to carry something like that, just be aware of what your laws state and what they consider a concealed weapon. Because again, something can be happen and you could swing someone and hit someone in the head with a 16-ounce claw hammer, and they're going to call that assault with a deadly weapon. It's not really a weapon, but it is assault.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. So you just you know, but I carry that, and that's probably one of my EDCs because I visit places on a daily basis that I can't have a firearm. You know what I mean? So I always have a knife and a hammer.
Yeah, well,
Always.
I kept a machete. I worked at
I
night.
always got a
and,
knife.
Bucket truck, and had to work out in sketchy areas, so I kept a machete on me just in case. And actually, I almost had to use it one time, man. I had a guy sneaking up behind me, and I'm sitting right there, working on some fiber, and I hear hear a noise behind me. Turn around, man. This dude right there behind me, and I come around and have that machete in my hand. Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. It's like, how the hell you didn't see me sitting here? But I knew he's up to, man, trying to sneak up on me or whatever and see what the cable guy had.
Yeah. They still do that?
What?
I thought the crooks moved to still swiping your credit cards and stealing your credit card information. I don't think they still roll up on you.
Oh no,
Nah, man, they got some.
All depends on where you at.
Yeah, they got some low tech thieves.
I was in Alexandria on Buckman Road, so if you know that area, I mean, that's how they get down over there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Who got cash still, man? I know one of my deterrents is try carry as very little cash on me as far as the EDC wise. But what do you carry for EDC, Ray?
I got a Glock 26, and then I also have a Gerson lightweight.
Yeah, I seriously, I rock a CZ, a CZ P10, the micro P10 MC, the real micro compact thing, and I usually rock the that band thing. What the ladies call it, the belly band. But it's not really a belly band. It just works for me because it's a lot comfortable. But
it's a belly band.
Hey man, that's going back to that episode of the Boondocks when Gangstalicious gave him the fucking clothes and shit, that skirt and that halter top.
Homie over H's.
Yeah. Dude, a homemade.
Like homies over hoes.
Yeah, a pimp named Sir Slickback can't get with that sentiment. There's a lot of things.
Nah, but I seriously, because I got stomach issues. So I tried a whole bunch of different holster things, and that is the most comfortable to me. I just really don't know.
Yeah, same thing with me. I mean, I've tried that, and be honest with you, man, I like it. My other holsters, this is the problem I have with the other ones, because
I got a belly band too.
I got whatever you want to call it. You said it's not a belly band, so it's whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
I have one. But
I like that damn thing.
Yeah, with my regular holsters, man, you get a little bit of weight on you or whatever. You start to get that little stick in your side or whatever with them holsters, and I ain't like that.
Man,
so when I try that little band, what'd you say?
Granddad wearing a girdle, man, just like on
ain't no damn girdle, man.
Was it Lethal Weapon 4 when Roger was wearing a girdle?
Now the crazy joint is right. I put a big gun in that belly band a lot of times.
What you had, Desert Eagle in there?
I put like an HK-45 or some shit in there.
Hey, Armel, HK-45 isn't a big gun, man.
Mine's is a full size. I ain't no Desert Eagle.
I'm telling you,
yet.
That's not a big gun, man.
A larger frame handgun.
All right, man. I mean, I guess, but it's not. When you start like looking at it and everything else, and that's like the cool thing because
you hear this shit, right? You hear this?
What I'm telling you, man.
This is the backstory. Nah, let me.
All that shit's fucking subjective.
Let me say This is the backstory. The backstory is we going to MD Arsenal. I'm on the phone talking to Joe and Tack Life Jay. Joe said, "I'm just bringing pistols." Tack Life Jay, I'm just bringing pistols.
That shit was weeks ago, man. Can we let that shit go?
But then let it go. About the size. That's a full gun. That's not a full size gun. You back to that same shit. Now that's a knife, and this is a knife. Crocodile Dundee ass.
God damn, this is why I drink.
Go ahead, man. 38, 39, 40. Go ahead.
Whatever it takes. Let it go, man.
Tell me about what's it's not a big gun. What is it?
Well, in all honesty, that's all subjective because what's a big gun to you or a small gun to you is different to someone else, man. And that's like the whole thing about this because like there's really no right answer except for in certain cases, some things are better than others, you know.
You're right.
No,
I may have misframed it.
no. I
Full-size
understand.
frame.
See, so
Let me use the
now,
proper terminology.
this is
Full
what Big
size
Brother,
frame.
this is what Big Brother Huey's doing to you and shit. Now he said that shit, Phil.
Yeah, full size frame. Gun.
Yeah, no.
So,
And that's one of those things too, right? Because again, with that, a larger barrel, a larger frame has a longer sight radius, which helps. It tends to improve your accuracy. However, nothing's 100%. There's no absolutes. It's about 99, 98% effective. The longer the sight radius, the greater the accuracy. The heavier the gun, sometimes the better point of aim, point of impact, and all the good stuff in it. So again, I guess like your EDC is dictated by your personal requirements, whether it's your environment, is it hot, is it cold, how much gun you can afford, and what you're wearing.
I got a question about that.
What?
I don't know, and people in the chat could tell me, right? Do you really need to be? Does your EDC really need to be a tag driver at accuracy?
Well,
or you need to be proficient with it to hit it at a reasonable point.
So and here's the
I mean?
thing, man. Let's see what the chat has to say because
let me see what the chat got to say about that.
I kind of got a position and an opinion on that, and it goes back to what we had talked about before, and maybe Whiteside Tactical can jump in and start talking about mechanisms of injury and everything else. There's two ways to end a gunfight, right? There's two, right? A CNS shot, cease all electrical activity, and loss of blood, right? And when you start thinking about it, if you're just stacking rounds on top of each other, you're that accurate and that precise, you're not doing any damage until you blow through and you hit the spinal cord. And we seen a video where that one cop, he mag dumped on that guy, and that guy was still like whooping his ass for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, swinging a knife, swinging an axe, and shooting a gun.
Let me get this right.
Is
a
a
small
real
group can still get you killed.
Say again?
You saying a small group can still get you killed. So you saying walk the dog.
It's personal preference. I'm not saying anything because I don't want someone to be like, yo, I did this and Q
I'm
said
not
that,
going and don't play one on TV.
And like I got my ass whooped, now I'm gonna whoop Q's ass. I can't do that.
But I'm saying I'm not trying to get into all that in depth, right? Because I carry this little ass gun, not little gun, that's subjective. A very small compact frame.
Derringer.
Yeah, for EDC, right? But I'm not at a zero threat. I operate at zero threat level, means that something may happen and I may have to engage it, but I don't think I need to be
fucking
super,
Armel's security.
It's going to happen, and I don't need to be like 100 yards or 25 yards in a small group shooting with my EDC.
Yeah. So, hey guys, in case you're wondering why Homeland Security threat levels be fucked up, Armel make them up. I work at a zero threat, but shit might happen. That ain't zero.
Yo, I'm pre 9/11, bro.
All right, man.
I'm pre 9/11, baby.
All right.
Remember, nobody ever attacked U.S. on U.S. soil. Remember that shit?
How'd that shit work out for you?
Motherfucking airplanes crash. Oh,
but anyways, man, if a threat breaks out or whatever, you're not going to be a tag driver. Period. It's not going to happen. Your ass is going to start shooting.
I don't even think that even matters.
Yeah, anybody that sits there and takes the time to aim might as well be dead.
Fact.
I disagree.
Nope. Because if you're taking that time to aim in a situation, now it's different. It's different if you see this coming beforehand or whatever, then yeah, maybe so. But if this is something that just happens right then and there or whatever, say you're out and all of a sudden, you know, somebody looks like they're getting ready to roll up on you and pull out their gun, you're not going to be sitting there taking the time to aim at them. I'm sorry, you're just going to start shooting in that damn direction. Now you're going to, you know, aim at their body, but you're not going to be aiming for a specific location on their body.
All right.
You know,
So
I mean, that's just how I see it.
allow me to retort with them thick ass glasses looking like Red Fox from fucking the Ray's Boom Boom Room. Hey, so check this out, right? Remember that kid in Indiana in the mall? He clapped that kid like with two expertly executed shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was a one.
He had a red dot, man. They played it on the
dot.
Hollow Sun.
Well, shit. Hey, whatever it takes, man. There you go.
But that wasn't a defensive situation. That was more of an offensive situation.
Right.
No, that wasn't. That was defensive, man. Someone fucking came in there shooting.
No, that was
somebody came in shooting. But they wasn't shooting at him.
Yeah,
they were shooting at. They were just shooting in the crowd.
All
he
right.
saw the person,
he was
and he aimed at him, and he shot him. He aimed and shot.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I'm talking about if somebody rolls up on you or whatever, you know, they're coming specifically for you. You're not going to sit there and take the time to aim, because by the time you know, pull out, aim, and all this other shit, that's it. Your ass is done. You're going to pull that shit out and just start shooting and moving.
Hey, Granddad, to be honest with you, man,
I'm an advocate of what some people call point shooting.
I don't move in those circles. I ain't out there like that and shit.
Now,
I ain't got ops.
Don't have to be.
I was talking to Tom at Surplus Army about and a couple of other people who shoot and stuff professionally about point shooting, like getting your muscle memory, not so much muscle memory, your technique where you can point the gun and hit your point of aim.
Yeah. So and like that type of shooting style has been changed. It used to be reflexive shooting, instinctive shooting.
They call it different things.
It's all in the same thing. It's just like really pressing out, punching out, keying in on that front sight post if you have to, and then just letting them rip. Because again, what I would want to do is I want to put as many holes into something as I can, right? Massive blood loss that ends fights. CNS hits that ends fights. And like Ray said, I don't have time. I'm not that accurate. I can't hit someone in the head. I can't hit you in the melon, but I can hit you all up in your chest and try and hit heart, lung, kidneys, everything else, vital organs and blood vessels.
So back to the question. Do you really need to be that accurate?
Well, accuracy is subjective, right? So
my idea of accuracy is 3 shots in the A zone.
3 shots in the A zone. Okay.
In less than 3 seconds.
All right.
Or every time that I pull that gun out, it's in the A zone. Every time that gun is fired, it's in the A zone.
All right.
That's my idea of accuracy. I don't know what of it's downsized groups. But I'll say the A zone because I always go for, because I want to be accountable for every shot that's fired. I can't live with myself with a stray bullet hurting someone.
Yeah. I mean, really, who can?
Yo, my wife be loving on me, bro. Look what she be doing.
I mean, really, who can?
When the last time you seen one?
Oh, well, but I think it was
Did his ass complain?
Yeah.
Yo, she be loving me.
So what she do? She brought you the wrong drink?
Nah, she brought me my old drink. She brought me my old drink. I don't drink that no more.
Oh, you stepped your game up.
Hey, Armel, so when we go back to accuracy, right? You know, I guess accuracy is different for everyone because some people are satisfied just with hitting the E-type silhouette or hitting a target, hitting a 66% IPSC target or a man-sized target, right? And again, that accuracy, I really think, and I stand in the position that it all depends upon what you're going for. Now, if we're talking about EDCs in a defensive situation, now I have to hit my target because I only got so many bullets, right? And I have a certain amount of time to end that threat because we have seen
EDCB.
Say again?
How accurate should, when people are looking up, I want this gun to be accurate. But I want this
Okay,
gun to be my EDC.
So
what is the
Riley,
standard of
Riley, here's the
accuracy
deal
for
right here.
EDC is what I'm
Riley,
saying.
here's the deal right here, right? There's two types of accuracy. You have mechanical accuracy, what that firearm can do, and then you have that individual shooter's accuracy. Because I can get a gun, I can put it in a block, I can put it in a rest, and it'll shoot 0.00005 MOA all day long. As soon as I pick it up, I start putting different inputs in it. That thing's not hitting the fucking broadside of the earth. So that is a shooter's competency thing, right? And again, if you look at the military training, right, your military rifle, the ones that we accept or the ones that's accepted, their standard of accuracy is 4 MOA, right? So that's about close to 5 inches because the MOA is actually 1.03 inches. So about 4.5 inches at 100 yards or 100 meters. That's what they're talking about. So again, accuracy is subjective. I have to be accurate enough to get effective rounds on targets. Now, when I do that, I have to understand what an effective round on target or an effective hit
That's
is.
what I was getting at, Joe.
Right.
Please explain to an effective round on target. Please explain.
Why I gotta explain it, man? Goddamn, why I gotta be Huey? So when we start talking about it, and if Whiteside's still in the chat, he can come in or they can come in because they're the medical guys. So when we start talking about effective rounds on target, that means something that's going to stop the fight, in the threat, right? A CNS hit, as Big Brother, Big Rob, Tactical Turkey, Kick Up Dust would say, he's going to T-box you right here, lights out, right? If I can't get that T-box hit CNS, Dude Knowledge said he's going to push through your chest cavity till he severs that spine. If I can't do that, I'm putting as many rounds in your body that's going to put holes and leaks and everything else to get you to bleed out, get a lung to collapse, all that other good stuff to where there's no way they can save you. Now, that also goes back to ammunition selection, right? Because if I'm EDCing with full metal jackets have a tendency of going straight through targets, right? They'll go through flesh and everything else. They don't dump a whole bunch of energy onto the target, right? I get maximum tissue disruption. I get more damage by dumping energy into you, right? And that's it. So I want to hit you as many times as I can in as short amount of period as I can, just to have you leaking.
That's dope, right? That's dope. So because I was like, I'm accurate in my EDC and I hit this 24 yards. That shit, because to me, that shit don't be impressing me. You know what I mean? Hey, Huey. That shit don't be all of that fast drawer ass from appendix.
Hey, Ray.
I know that shit be dope on the gram, but that shit, y'all ain't be moving by that, yo.
Hey, Ray, put up Whitesides right there, man. That CNS shot, this lights out. Like my man said, night.
Yeah, man. So I'm more into what they said, effective rounds on target. That's what I'm into, especially with the EDC gun.
Slingshots. Dude,
the thing I'm saying with the EDC, which draws the line. This is what, when I'm choosing an EDC, is, they got a good YouTuber reviewer. He's called Graham Bates. And I check him out, and he runs a gun review thing. GB Guns is what they call him, right? He runs a gun review thing, right? But he has, in one of his sets, he has this thing called the What's for Dinner test. So he takes like 10 different random ammunitions, and he sees if the gun runs through it. Whatever gun he's testing runs through it. Random ass ammunition brand out of the box. And I think that's a really good test, because I determine a gun by what I can feed it. If it can eat anything that I can put in it,
that's a damn good gun.
So finicky. And then it fits other needs, I can carry it.
Nah, I disagree with you on that wholeheartedly.
I said other needs as well. That's not the prime. That's one of the standards.
Well, but
like say for instance, I got this CZ, this little micro gun, right? I can have I choose that over a Sky or something because I can feed it more, and and it feeds and runs.
Okay, but listen to this right here, right?
Same size firearm. Good.
But listen to this right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between feeding ammunition to a gun and it running, and there's a difference between feeding, I'm going to say, quote unquote, good ammunition into a gun and it running. What I mean by good ammunition is the ammunition that's going to run and it's going to be accurate. Because I can get a gun to shoot any ammo. It may or may not be accurate.
But
The
I'm not
ammunition,
talking about being accurate. What I'm talking about is effective wounds on target, like you
yeah,
were saying.
but Armel,
Self-defense
if you're not
situation.
accurate, you're not going to have effective rounds on target. You're going to miss, right? So when you look at
Well,
ammunition,
that's
you gotta
that's education. That missing
Yeah.
shit. Because there's no way I can miss. I'm blind as fuck, and I can't miss you at 7 yards.
you can miss at 7 yards.
I can't miss your big ass.
Oh, really, man? Here we
I
go.
can't
Here we
miss.
go with the
I
size
can't
shit.
miss Skilly at 7 yards.
Here we go with the size shit. Really,
I can't miss skinny ass Skilly at 7 yards.
man? Skilly turns sideways and disappears and shit. Like,
And
where
I
did he
still
go?
couldn't miss him.
Bullshit.
I still couldn't miss Skilly. I put a part through Skilly
You
ass,
see that?
yo.
Hey, right there, man. So and that's a good thing. But getting back to running any ammo, it doesn't do you any good if your gun runs this ammo and the ammo isn't consistent. It doesn't have consistent velocities. It doesn't have a consistent point of aim, point of impact. Because your shots you're gonna end up missing. Because again,
That's
remember this
training.
right here.
That's training and education.
Yeah. Again,
That's
right
shooting
here.
skills.
Yeah. Well, call it what you want to call it, man. I've never seen a gunfight that was static. Because if I'm tracking a target down and someone from the chat that has more experience, they can go in and say it. If you've ever been in a gunfight, targets tend to fall and everything else. Now you're tracking and following your target to the ground because it's not just one and done. So now I got to transition and everything else. When we start talking about ammo and all this, well, my gun can run anything and all this and everything else. I highly recommend finding the best ammo you can afford to do what it is you wanted to do.
And
Everyone can't shoot. Yeah, everyone can't shoot $2 a round, fucking hyper technology, whatever. Someone's got to shoot a Gila jacketed hollow points, right? Nothing wrong with it. They're consistent.
Anybody send their EDCs in? Yeah, anybody who want to show off their EDC
I forgot to send.
and tell us a story.
I forgot to send my.
Hey, Ray, put Dude Knowledge's comment up there. And that's a fact right there. I'm not going to rise. Very few people will rise to the occasion. They're going to fall to the baseline level of training, right?
Mhm.
That's just a fact, man.
And that's what I was saying when I sit there and said nobody is going to sit there
Aiming.
and aim.
Right.
You know, most of the time, I mean, yeah, you're going to your bait. The whole thing, you're going to aim at that target, which is that whole person. You're not going to aim like you do with a regular target. Trying to get that 2-inch circle or whatever. You're not doing that. So that was the whole thing I was sitting there saying. So when you get into some type of situation and it's a pressure situation, I mean, your ass is not going to sit there and take the time to aim. If you do, your ass is dead, period. You're dead because you're taking too much time to do something that you really don't have to do at that point. Your whole thing is putting them damn rounds downrange on that body. Where it hits that body, who gives a shit? Leg, arm, head, shit. Fuck it, you're done.
Arm, leg, arm, head.
See, and that goes back to your training and everything else, right? So
talk that shit, Ray.
When we go to the range,
How many of us actually go to an outdoor range or go to a range where we can move?
I got a better question. Even if you can't go, at a lot of indoor ranges I've been to, the target moves? Because what threat stands still?
None that I know of.
And didn't I just say that shit? This motherfucker like a 5
you
minute
talk about the person moving. And a lot of people get that mixed up. Like it's more important that they move and shoot. But I think before you even, as well as thinking about that, think about moving targets.
No, hey, Armel, that's what I just said, right? I have to adjust for my shooting position and everything else to track targets, right? So no gunfight, very few gunfights are static, right? And that's whether someone's shooting back at you or you hear something and you're trying to get the cover, right? Versus concealment, or you're taking shots behind a barricade or the person you're shooting at is running away or running towards you. Right. So you start throwing all those things into it. Now shooting that gun, quote unquote, gets exponentially harder. right? Because that target's moving, you're doing this, and to tie all three of those pieces together, it's kind of difficult, and it takes a lot of training to be successful at it. You know, one of the hardest things that I've ever done was just shooting laterally, and we're not even talking about depth. We're just shooting, like walking from left to right and shooting, you know, and staying fixated on the target. That shit's hard.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's hard for me, man. I'm, you know.
You know what I think messing us up, man, and it was an interesting thing. I was having a conversation about completely may or may not been completely unrelated because I conflate things anyway. Everything's all equal. That's why it might sound weird because I treat everything pretty much the same. But it was just about the English language. Somebody was saying, "Oh, it's very difficult for me to understand certain instruction because of the choice of the wording that's used when to instruct me." You know what I mean? Especially if English is not necessarily your first language. So I'm just imagining I'm telling somebody who's not familiar with shooting the point of aim, point of impact, and all of these crazy ass terminologies that got developed over the years, and they don't speak that they don't speak that damn language. You see what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
Or let me say a word. These words that these generic ass cornbread words that we use every day in a two-way, like this accuracy shit and this reliability shit and this training, all of these what we call fundamental words. You'll be surprised at how many times these what you may think is simple words get misinterpreted, or shoot on a move to these terminologies that we use. And I'm just talking to it as an enthusiast and a semi-novice. Because I even get confused, like what this person talk about, because it's conflictual to this person talk about. So people, especially new to this particular type of lifestyle, they get so much conflated and conflicted information. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, it might just be, and I was talking to someone about something completely unrelated. It might just be the language that we're using, and that people are not immaculate. Certain people who are interested in it are not completely immaculated to it. So we need to choose better words, bro.
Yeah, no, so one of those things right here, right?
So should I be accurate or should I not be accurate?
So you can choose the words you want to choose, right? But I have to explain it. I have to teach it to the level of my students. And that's some things that I have a problem with that, because I start talking everything else. I just go on the assumption that, hey, we're all car guys. We all know what, this is and everything else.
Different levels of it.
So and then once I find out where our levels is, I try and meet the students where they're at. I don't want them to come to me. I'm going to go to them. So we have to do better than that. Then also, one of the biggest things that we have to get over is, hey, anybody got any questions? What the fuck did you just say? Right? Because a lot of times I find myself today, I was in a meeting. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to be the fucking dumbass that didn't know what GWAT stood for.
What does that mean?
What?
You see what I'm saying? But nobody knows where a lot of people really don't know what GWAT is.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you.
Don't watch TV like that.
Hey, I don't know what the fuck GWAT means.
I think it means global war on terror. I just found that shit out. Goddamn. Global war on terror. These motherfuckers got acronyms for everything.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those things, right? And again, as Americans, we got so many words that mean the same thing, and so many words that is the same thing that don't mean shit. And the beauty about it is you can just fucking randomly make up words in America. And if you're going to teach something, you need to clearly define what it is. Clearly define
about firearms.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. In firearms,
EDC, everyday carry, and this fucking accuracy thing keep coming the fuck up. And
you
Ray
brought up accuracy.
Right. You ain't gonna aim and point and shoot and shit. Hey, Ray, didn't you say that? And this is what I'm talking about. Ray,
say what?
Granddad, you said you ain't gonna be aiming, lining up no fucking sights and all of that bullshit, didn't you?
No, what I said, I'm not trying to, drive a nail. I'm sitting there saying I'm gonna be aiming at that fucking body.
So how do you choose your EDC?
Say what?
Okay.
How do you choose your EDC?
I chose my EDC by what felt good to me, what I like.
Yeah.
Not by what everybody else
So you
like.
worried
I don't
about
give
your
a fuck
are
what
you worried
anybody
about
else
your
like.
EDC being the
What
most
felt good
accurate
to
gun?
me.
Are you worried about your EDC being the most accurate gun?
that's what I put my time in behind.
See-
Yeah, I would hope so.
See, Armel,
Why
man.
would the EDC need to be that fucking
Hey,
accurate?
hey, Armel,
That's what I'm trying to figure out because I'm confused,
Stop,
bro.
stop,
No.
stop.
'cause
Armel,
look,
hold on,
what
Skilly.
is the- okay,
Armel,
hold on.
hold on,
Dude Knowledge just
hold
said
on,
something.
hold on,
Let
hold
me see
on.
if I can find
Hold
it.
on, hold on, Ray. Armel's not confused. Armel's he's just starting shit because he's supposed to fucking start shit, man. Decock safety host, motherfucker. Walk
That's
on
that
back.
alcohol.
You gotta
That's
be
what it
somewhat
is.
accurate
Yeah.
because
It ain't no alcohol, man, because I got this is motherfucker. I'm drinking non-alcohol beer.
What you drinking? Some Aquafina,
Nah, it's non-alcohol.
the
cherry
reason why you
flavor,
gotta
or
be
something? What?
accurate is because
It's
every bullet
gluten-free beer, bro.
that gun, if you hit a
Yeah,
child,
you're
you're
like
responsible for
Skilly's
hitting-
saying. Skilly's saying it all. You're responsible for everything that leaves that gun.
Yes. If you hit a
You know?
child, 13-year-old child, 5-year-old child, then guess what? That child died, then it's on you. You
I
serve.
understand that, silly, and I agree with you. I 100% understand you. But is that accuracy?
Yes, it gotta be accuracy. Shit.
No, that's skill. I can hit you on top with a motherfucking slingshot with a rock.
Armel, you're doing what you do, man.
So when I
He's
see
doing-
people,
he's
I'm
doing-
telling you,
he's
when I
doing
see
what he
people
does
talk about
best,
accuracy, they talk
but
about
he's just
brute size.
early.
Armel,
I'm not
hold
worried
on,
about
man.
blue
See,
side.
so
I'm
one,
worried about hitting that frame. That's what I'm
Listen.
worried about hitting.
listen, you have to establish when you talk about accuracy and precision, you have to establish a baseline to go with it because
Good
everyone's
word, precision. Is accurate and precision the same thing?
no, they're not.
Thank you. But people, it come being that we fucking with English, people conflate those two words to be
all
the
right,
same.
all right. So let me ask you this right here, man. Is arguing and Armel the same thing?
Hell no, I'm just showing
Absolutely.
that I'm right.
Absolutely. If they are the same thing, man. So again, you have to throw all this shit, establish a base.
Carbon Q said global war on terrorism. I got a question, Carbon Q. Who made that shit up?
Armel.
Hey,
What up,
delete him,
Paul?
man.
Stay on
Hey,
fucking top.
put him in timeout, man.
Huh? No, that's what I need to take and do.
Nah, but we're
His
talking about
ass is all over the damn
on
place,
EDC.
man.
We talk about the EDC.
Now,
We're talking
Dude
about
Knowledge
EDC.
put it up there also, as far as the barrel and stacking the bullets and all that stuff, you know. But
Right.
it's training. That's one of the things, training. But what I said is that in a stressful situation, your ass is not going to be sitting there trying to aim. You know, I'm sorry. Not if it's like I said, if somebody's shooting at you or getting ready to shoot at you or whatever, your thing is you're going to try and return fire, but you're going to be trying to get the fuck out the way too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going to be staying there like this is the old West and the OK Corral gun showdown or some shit. You know, we don't do that nowadays. Your ass is going to shoot and run, try and find some fucking cover.
100%.
Anybody that doesn't do that, I mean, if you get hit, you get hit. You deserve that shit. That's as far as I'm concerned.
But that's not the shit that I'm seeing in these self-defensive training things.
All right, well, you're watching the wrong fucking people then, man.
That's all I say.
All right, well, you need to change. You know what? I'm gonna give you a playlist. All right, and it's gonna be homework afterwards. So getting back to the topic about fucking EDCs, not fucking Armel. Well, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm still talking about EDCs, bro. I'm still talking about EDCs.
You don't know what you're talking about, Armel, because your ass been all over the place.
No, I'm talking about EDCs. I'm still talking about EDCs to this day. When I'm selecting an EDC, we talk about he said he do his 365. He is interchanging modules, and he put his grip on and make it look all pretty with his Icarus precision, little corny shit.
Don't say making it look pretty, man. Yo, hey, get off my nuts.
The cool ass,
hey, get off the nuts.
Damn thing. You know what I mean?
Call that motherfucker Tarzan because he's swinging hard
on a 365. You know what I mean?
Hey, remember the
Mine.
Boondocks when Obama got elected and shit? Everyone was dick riding.
You see what Dude Knowledge said? And that's what I'm trying to kind of say, but I'm not as eloquent as he is. He said accuracy will be null and void if you don't build fundamentals.
Well, see, here's the counter argument. if you don't build your fundamentals, you will never be accurate.
Mhm.
That's just the deal. If you don't
If
have
you're
a
not
proper
accurate, you'll never be precision.
yeah. Well, but see, so here's the thing. Look up the accepted definition of accuracy versus precision, or accuracy and precision when it comes to shooting, right? And that's the accepted standard,
So
right?
what I'm talking about is EDC fundamentals. What do you think fundamentals that this word? Because I like words for real. I really like words. Like
I got 4 words. I got 4 words for you.
I like yo.
You don't like these words?
Uh-oh.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah, fundamentals. What would be fundamentals for EDCs?
I'm gonna say this. I'm limited to where I can go. I'm trying to find me an outdoor range myself. But fundamentals for me right now is going once a month with my EDCs and just practicing. Just trying to
Practicing
hit
what?
the frame.
Practicing
Trying
what?
to hit
Skilly?
the frame of the paper right now. That's my fundamentals right now. Making sure if I do get in that situation, that I am aiming at the frame of that person and make sure I put them bullets, like Ray said. As long as they hit that frame or wherever I'm trying to aim at, then at that point I'm pretty much I
Hold
guess
on a sec.
okay if I get into that.
Can I say something? Hold up. Listen, I don't even go on our own live stream. Armel, you made me go on here. Just know this. Know this. Right? I don't even go on our own live streams.
We
Yeah,
smoked
you're
you
right.
out, dude. We smoked you out. Gotcha, bitches.
Hold on a second. First of all, your EDC fundamentals, what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't fucking know. You tell me.
Bro, hold on a second. Fundamentals is fundamentals. It doesn't matter if it's for EDC. It doesn't matter if it's for God knows what. Your fundamentals is fundamentals, right? Here's a good example. Fundamentals is like basic
Fundamentals
math.
is GWAT.
GWAT, global war and terror. But that's not
the
fundamentals.
That's what everybody said.
That
I
has
got these fundamentals from GWAT.
No, Armel. Everyone's like right here. You're like all over the fucking place.
No, I'm not. But go
Right?
ahead.
So is it fundamental subjective to each person? No, I wholeheartedly disagree with that, because you cannot tell me that fundamental math, right, which we're talking about 1 + 1, that's fundamentals.
Right.
You can't tell me that 1 + 1 = fucking 5 when 1 +
Hell no.
1 = 2.
Exactly.
So when you're talking fundamentals, whether it's for pistol or whether it's for carbines or rifles, right? You can't tell me that there's different fundamentals. Your fundamentals is first of all proper firearm handling,
Yeah.
right? Your safety, right? Don't put your fucking muzzle at things you don't intend to destroy, kill, etc., etc. So when you're talking EDC, the same rules apply, right? If you hear a bump in the night, you're not automatically pointing your fucking gun at anything and everything that moves that sounds scary to you. You're not putting your finger on the trigger just because you're scared. And most importantly, you're not shooting at anything because it sounded, it didn't sound normal to you. You want to establish
or pointing your goon beam at your cat.
Right. You could point your goon beam at your cat, but you're not pointing your fucking firearm.
Right. You got a flashlight at your bed.
Right. And you're not, and most importantly, right, what is one of the fundamental rules of firearm safety? Right? Knowing your target and what's beyond it. Because every time you pull that trigger and a projectile flies out of that muzzle, you're signing your signature with your social security number on every projectile that leaves your muzzle. So if that projectile neutralizes your threat, but also goes beyond him and hits an innocent bystander, guess what's happening? You're responsible for that.
So when we choose,
Hey, dude, now it's one thing. I am a citizen. So
when I'm choosing my EDC, I need to know those fundamentals. Now, I need to know. This is where I'm at.
Pick up
I'm not
any
going
firearm.
Right.
Any firearm.
What the fuck
That's
are you
any
talking about?
firearm.
No.
What we talking about right now, that's
No,
any firearm.
no. It's not firearm specific.
So
It's every
the fire.
firearm, bro.
All right.
I'm saying,
The
and I
fundament-
agree. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that's every single firearm, right? Every
Yes.
single weapon that can be pointed, missiled, or projected, right?
Yeah.
What we're talking about tonight, before Ray clicks me on mute, is EDCs. What we talking about
Hey,
tonight,
man,
EDC.
Can I
But,
time out?
Mel,
Can I switch
Mel,
spots
Mel.
with
All
Dust?
I see
Yo,
EDC.
switch
No,
me.
wait,
This is what
Mel,
I'm
Well,
saying.
fundamentals
Okay,
or Mel,
we started off-
fundamentals.
no, we started off talking about EDCs, and your ass just derailed the whole fucking train like you do all the damn time. That's what you do. You know, so
Fundament-
you've been everywhere. You didn't, I mean, all over the damn place. You got
I'm talking
people
about
asking,
choosing an EDC.
what are we talking about today? And that's because you fucked it all up. You know, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. You just
Hey,
fucked
hey,
up the whole
hey,
conversation.
can I say
But
one thing?
Let's try and get it back to where we
Hey.
were at. Okay, so do knowledge,
Okay.
finish saying what you were saying, then Dust, then Joe. All right,
Yeah.
Armel, if you say anything, I'm gonna mute your ass and I'm letting you
I
know
got
right
you.
now.
I got you.
All I'm saying is your fundamentals and fundamental skills is not firearm based. You could do it with a high point. You can do it with a Sky. You can do it with a Glock. You can do it with a fucking Phoenix and Trinity, whatever fucking Gucci pistol you want.
Slingshot.
A slingshot. Thank you. A sling bow. All of that falls in the same basic fundamentals. Any projectile that leaves your person and you're responsible for it, you're signing your name. So whether it's a high point, whether it's a 1911, whether it's a fucking Carl Gustav or a fucking RPG, it does not matter. Your accuracy is going to be as good as you are with your basic form of training. No matter what, you're still going to fall down to your basic form of training when it comes down to accuracy, precision, and important one, Armel, write this down, consistency.
What about this one? Before all of that, proficiency.
Mute his ass. What the fuck did we just say? Mute his ass. Right? Kick him out. Kick him out of his own goddamn show. Oh
Your
my
ass is
god,
muted,
this is
bitch.
proficiency, bro.
Yo,
I'm out.
fundamentals or
I'm outta
Mel,
here.
fundamentals
Lose it.
don't
I'm gonna
change.
fucking lose it.
Fundamentals don't change, bro. They don't change, Armel. Oh damn, you really muted him. That's wild. Yo, fundamentals.
Oh yeah, you gotta do
they-
that. Gotta do his ass. Shit.
Fundamentals
I
don't
got
change. It's
control.
written in stone. Armel, think about in Brooklyn back home, right? When they lay down the concrete squares and somebody takes a key, right? And they dig their name in it. That shit's there forever. It's like that would be like a fundamental. Like it's there forever. It does not change no matter what you do. Now back to this EDC shit. If you go in and you go, I need something accurate, they're gonna say that gun is as accurate as you are,
As a shooter.
no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you spend enough time with a firearm, you're gonna be super accurate with it. Now, as far as precise, you want precision, you have to take it up a notch. You might have to change a few things.
Yeah.
Armel, you know how to spark some shit, bro. Good shit. I'm not gonna lie, good shit. You know how to spark some
You're
shit up.
unmuted. You can talk,
Hey, Des,
Armel. You're
Nah,
unmuted.
don't unmute him yet. Dust, are you done?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I would just like to thank Dude Knowledge and Kick Up Dust for joining us. Also, going out to the chat, we're doing a donation for Armel's medication. You know, we took up a collection.
Nah, but for real though, thank y'all.
We
for
gotta
real.
get some more Ritalin for his ass.
Nah, for real though. I was just, doing some shit, being me, right? But the points that came out during the conversation in this chat, and thanks to our guests that came on, were cleared up because I don't think a lot of people in 2A that's been around firearms a lot get what new people or what people are hearing. And I, for one, I'm figuring shit out now, little by little, But a lot of this shit is this shit is a foreign language to a lot of new people, a lot of new enthusiasts.
Yeah,
It's
hey,
true.
actually, I can actually
EDC.
agree.
What the fuck is an EDC?
I
This is
can
what I
actually
carry every
agree.
day. You know what I mean?
With Armel on that. For a lot of us that's been in the space for a while, we tend to throw around acronyms and everything else, and we just assume everyone knows it because they're wearing 511 or they got a night, so they got suppressors and everything else. And I think we might want to make a better effort, a more concerted effort to bring everyone along and explain, take the time to explain them to them and everything else, because I've seen a lot of people have questions, but they were hesitant or afraid or reluctant to ask.
Right.
And it's like the same thing with females in the two-way space, right? You guys can be intimidating. Dust, you're a big motherfucker. Armel, you just argumentative, man. It's like shit. Like that motherfucker off the threads and shit. But seriously, it's like one of those things that we could probably do a lot. I know I can do a better job as to articulate and explaining it in a way that the person that has a question can understand it, versus just saying,
gun guys. Gun guys are probably good, but they're the worst in communication skills I ever fucking seen. They have
So
gun guys can't communicate for shit.
that's not true.
Most of them. They get into their gun guy world, and it's easy.
I don't think it's a gun guy thing.
And it's APC.
I think that's all subcultures, man. Because
I think that's a human thing.
Yeah, if you just go hang out with dudes that do dirt bikes and that do skateboards, everyone has their own subculture. They talk a certain way.
Subculture shit.
If you hang out with rap guys, right? They talk a certain way. You hang out with dudes from Brooklyn, they talk a certain way, right? So you just can't say it's gun guys and shit.
But sometimes it get too advanced. But we want to be open. See, this is the subject of inclusivity. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
I want to be down with the cool gun guys that had the cool shit, but I need to go learn the cool language. But half the time, I don't be knowing what the fuck y'all be talking about.
No,
but you know what's crazy?
You always pushing back. You always like,
because when I question what somebody's talking about, they think I'm trying to be a smartass. But what have you ever thought that I really might not know?
But Armel, man, we know you trying to be.
Armel, have you ever really thought that I really might not know?
Well, maybe you don't.
See?
Okay, so now,
Ray, and look, I put it like this. I'm the opposite. Okay, so Armel, you ask questions. What I take and do, I listen, write it down, look it up. That's my thing. So everybody does it different, and that's like we were saying the different languages or whatever. Kick up dust, cars. You know what I'm saying? That's his thing. I don't know shit about. I mean, I know basics about cars. That's it, like the fundamentals of a car. And that's it. Now, when you sit there, you start talking about taking the engine apart and the heads and all this shit right there. At that point, it's like hell. I don't know nothing about it. Really, don't give a fuck because I pay somebody to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just being honest. Now the basics, changing the tire, changing the oil, shit like that.
Changing your brake.
Fundamentals. The things that you should know.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. What do I need to know about my EDC?
Is it comfortable?
Right.
Go ahead.
Does it fit good in your hand?
Go ahead.
There's a part of it. There's also a part of an aesthetic. You have to feel good about your purchase, right? Mm-hmm. Is it a decent EDC? You know what I'm saying? And then once you get past all that, but hold on though, right? So you go into so you want to break it down, right? Yep. You want to break it down. What's your budget? We're going before all that. Mm-hmm. What are you looking to spend? What are you using it on? You know what I'm saying? But you also got to understand, you got a whole panel of people that already have been through this. How many times?
Oh,
so you're backtracking right now.
See, so again, like to piggyback on what Dust was saying, right? And again, when someone says, "Hey, I want an EDC," you got to ask. There's at least 5 questions you're going to ask. Why do you want it? What do you want it for? Right? Are you actually going to EDC it, or is it just something to make you feel good? Right? How do you dress? What environments do you normally associate in, and everything else? Because you know, all guns aren't designed to go into all environments, right? Are you concealed carrying it, on body, off body? What's your cost? How mechanically inclined are you, right? Can you field strip it and clean it? Can you take it apart, right? Because now that's going to push me towards something else versus this right here. All right, let's go and shoot a couple of guns and see which ones you can handle better. Not just say jump into X, Y, or Z because X, Y, and Z is the most populous. Because again, everyone cannot shoot the same gun the same. That is just a fact. So when you start talking about EDCs and you start advising people, you have to give them all those options, because I would be remiss of my responsibilities to say, hey, just go jump into that, right? And then learn on that. No, I have to tailor that to the individual student, the one to make them feel comfortable and to make them feel confident and to build and impress upon them those good fundamentals of marksmanship, right? So a lot of times we just say, hey, you know, 1911 won 2 world wars. Like, it's not a silver bullet. A Glock 19 is not a silver bullet, right? So you have to look at it and see where you're going to be carrying that. How do you carry, right? Certain guns fit certain people. What type of ammunition you're going to be shooting, because you can have the best gun that fits your hand and everything else, and then you can ruin it with your ammunition choice, right? So we have to look at it, I guess, holistically. It's a system, right? And then like you said about the dudes just running ammo through it, and I think that's somewhat irresponsible, because I see that and then I start trying that shit, and now I'm getting upset because I'm not hitting where I used to be hitting, because no one took the time to give me part 2 of that lesson about point of aim. And, you know, point of aim means what I'm looking at once I line up those sights and point at impact where the bullet hits. And they, you know, and then lesson 3, why is that different? Just like the guys with suppressors and everything else. First time you got your suppressor, you was like, yo, my 0, I can knock a gnat's ass off. You see that suppressor on, you like, I'm low. Right? So we have to take the time. It's not just an 8-hour course. Now you got your license, go get a gun. You have to continually look at it, because if you don't, you're going to get frustrated. That's just my opinion. It don't mean shit.
Yo,
Coke
and I'm
tastes
sorry
better
if
than
I started a lot of trouble, but go ahead, Gina.
Hey, how you doing, Miss Gina?
Hi,
Hey,
Gina.
I
Hey,
just
Gina.
I came up because I am feeling intimidated by the conversation. So nobody taught me the EDC fundamentals. First of all,
Because there is none.
well, you
Oh,
said it was.
Mute that motherfucker, Ray.
No.
I know. Here
Because
it
there
goes
is none. What I'm trying to, yo, sometimes when you listen to me, you have to really listen to me. The point that I was pointing on, that all fundamentals are the same. But everybody's conflating it like it's different. This is EDC, and this is rifle, and this is combat shooting, and this is fuckers you. It's a whole bunch of jumbled up bullshit. But I'm just saying, we need to communicate it better. How should I select a gun? But instead of somebody telling us, well, the Glock 19 is the best gun in the world, or nothing can shoot like mine 2011. You see, that's the bullshit. That's the echo chamber that we're hearing. So what I would like to know is, I'm new to guns, and Joe Vacu explained it perfectly. What works for me may not work for you. What I may be proficient with or accurate with, you might not be. But it's got to be a trial and error type thing.
This is true.
Well,
And practice.
I think that I might be the newest person to firearms on the panel. I think
Me.
it ain't you. So when I just got my EDC in December. Now, I didn't just get my first firearm in December. I just got my EDC then, because it took me a while to decide what I wanted to get for EDC. The firearms that I feel like I'm more comfortable with are just too big to me for me to carry. So that's where I am with it. That's what kind of factored my choice, is finding something that to me felt more concealable and not as heavy.
That's what I'm talking about, Gina. And you got the dope ass guns, Gina. I seen you flexing. You know what I mean? For a new person, yo, Dust, you seen Gina collection? For a new person, she got all the Walters, the 2011 Jam Up, everything. She yo, yes, she got like 2 PDPs every model and shit. Yo, let me front, man. Damn, yo, she be flexing, right? She be on the gram flexing, Dust. I was like, oh, look at Gina doing her thing, and she relatively new to firearms. So, and I'm like, okay, she's nice. And I'm seriously, and it's a shame that probably nobody showed you EDC thing, because nobody ever showed me either. You know what I mean? Nobody ever showed. Comfort was, when I learned about firearms, comfort was, if you print, that's part of the game. You swallow that pill, don't carry a gun, sissy, or some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? And I think somebody really should put some thought into it instead of throwing Glock 19 or 2011 and all of this shit into people. Because like Q said, you got to consider how it fit, how I'm dressed, what I'm wearing. Everything Q said.
But I don't have a Glock or a 2011.
Yeah, I got somebody here now that's looking for EDC, which I consider like my mom. And I told her I got a couple that I could take her to the gun range with and see what she wants to get comfortable with. And I also encourage her to rent some to figure out what she likes.
Right. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, so
rental is a good suggestion. The only thing I've ran across with rental is the selection of rentals at the usual gun store is trash. Unless you go to MD Arsenal or something.
But hold on. But the thing is, also, with that being said, you are right. With that being said, but if you're new to shooting, you ain't gonna know a trash gun from a good gun.
No,
you ain't gonna all the guns.
Talking about a trash gun. I'm talking about a trash selection. There's not enough to choose.
Understood.
I'm talking about
that's what I was gonna add. Is there's really not that large of a selection to choose from in all realistic decisions. Like for EDC,
I don't know.
Like there's probably maybe 10 guns in that lineup, maybe, and I'm being generous saying 10.
So your EDC is going to be, and this may be advanced, and I might be falling back to what Armel said. Your EDC is really subjective on what you want. Like I base my EDC off of reliability, and me being able to hear me. And I'm falling back into what he said, but me being able to part ways with that firearm. God forbid something happens. I can shoot it decent. It's reliable. It's gonna go bang. You know, it could take a beat, and God forbid something happens and they take it from me. I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad about it. Dude just walking around with $2,000 EDCs, and I'm like, man, it's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes I do consider switching out my EDC to something that I care less about losing.
You better. They ain't gonna treat once the police get it. They ain't gonna treat it like it's there.
But that's subjective, you know.
So
I mean, it's not like what I carry is unobtainium, and I do feel also like I want to carry what I feel most confident with in that situation as well. So there's a balance between that. But I mean, if you're getting your first EDC gun, I feel like you get what you're comfortable carrying all the time. So like, I think the biggest factor is comfort. If you're not going to carry it every day, then there's no point to even have an EDC, because if you're going to leave it behind all the time, then what's the point of even talking about EDC if you're not going to feel comfortable wearing it every single day?
Right? Ray?
The what?
You see my text, right?
Yeah, we see it.
This shit is
well,
it looks like madness,
don't
but I'm
jump off topic,
intentional as
Armel.
fuck.
Don't jump off topic, Armel.
Yo, I'm intentional as fuck.
And then after my second level after comfort is shootability. So comfort, if you're gonna take it off and it's not comfortable, then that's kind of a waste. And then if you do gotta shoot it, is it like what level of shootability is it?
Yeah, see, I would disagree with you on that. I base my priorities on shootability. right? Because I'm uncomfortable every fucking day, right? You just kind of get over that and everything else, right? Shootability, reliability, because what good is it to have something that's really, really comfortable and you can't shoot that shit?
Well, that's why I said it kind of goes both of those together. Like you can't carry a bodyguard just to carry a bodyguard because that's most comfortable when the shootability and the use of it is trash.
Yeah.
But also like when I don't know how long you've been carrying Joe Biden.
Last week
he was black
no,
and white.
so here's the deal. So right,
For real though.
No, seriously,
Black and white
I understand what you're saying.
It's Purple
And
Rain.
I really think it's like they all kind of meld in to one another because, right, I can get a gun. Shootability has a lot to do with reliability, right? Because you might be able to shoot it real well, but if it's not reliable, you can't shoot it real well, right? And then shootability and reliability has to deal with comfort because if it's not comfortable to carry or you can't carry it, you're not going to carry it, you know? So it doesn't matter how great it shoots. And all those, I think, is really different for different people based on their requirements, if that makes any sense. Miss Gina versus Gina, I see you sitting up there pondering. I don't know whether you're sitting there still fucking
So real,
saw something.
my bad, Gina versus Gina. Well, I missed. How long did you say you had been carrying for, Joe Biden?
He didn't.
He did.
I didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Since the Purple Rain album dropped.
He did that Captain America on your ass. That shit.
So you can carry something that's uncomfortable because you're used to it. But when you're new to carrying, you don't want something that's just going to be every single day bothering you. The longer you carry, the more you figure out how to make it more comfortable. You get used to it. But your first carry gun, I feel like should be, you don't want to hate it, is my thing.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly because, like, if you go back even, say, 5 years ago, there was this mantra about this is how it's done. This is how it's done. This is how it's done. Now you look at now, it's just like, well, you got options. You can do this. You can do that. They got this. They got that and everything else. So to be a good steward of this 2A space and this 2A game, I'm not going to sit down here and say, hey, it's Glock 19 or nothing. Because we're not in one of those organizations where that's their approved weapon. It's like, have you ever shot a gun before? No, I seen one, I seen John Wick. All right, well, we got to wait, next week we'll be at the John Wick level, but let's start here. This is that. Unfortunately, these are all the firearms that I have. So let's start here. What have you learned or what have you ever shot before or been exposed to? What are your questions, right? I'm not going to sit down here because we're not teaching a Sephardic class or we're not teaching this where guys are already at this fucking level. And it's just like, here's a magazine, zero your shit. Let's go run the lanes. It's, hey, how you doing? What's your background? Let's sit down, have some coffee. Let's talk about it for a minute. I want you to feel as comfortable as possible, right? It's like a date. I'm trying to sleep.
I love that, Joe.
I'm going to kiss you.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Hey, Dust, it's like when Little Kim came and sat at the table. Hey, who the fuck is this guy? Buy him a drink.
Yeah, like, who the fuck are you? Get this man a drink.
Get that motherfucker a drink.
Yeah. And I think courting a firearms are literally like dates or girlfriends or something. You have to court it. It might not work out. How many people got it right on the first person they dated?
Not me.
Been with them the rest of their life.
Not me.
Not me. But you know what I mean? You have to court it. It might look good at first, and it's good just because, but it's, you know what I mean? That's why there's no silver bullet or perfect firearm or perfect EDC. You gotta trial and error it and see. Or you might have to be a player and have to switch it up every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Jack Armel
I have to say that the P365 is as close to perfect as you could have perfect.
I don't think so. I don't like it.
Well, that's your opinion, but you could have it smaller, you could have it larger, or you could have you could have 3 different sizes of the same gun. So which one you don't like? All 3 of them, Armel?
I feel like we're
like,
missing.
I just don't like the fucking gun.
I feel like
just
we're
don't
missing a
like
little point here. I feel like we're missing a little point here, and this was a big thing with me, and it still is. Well, actually, I got to change it out because it's old and it's hurt and it's broken. Yo, everybody's talking about the firearms, right? What about the fucking holster?
The holster is the most important.
Where do you carry? Your holster is so fucking important, dog. Are you Kydex? Are you leather? Are you hybrid? Are you outside?
You know
Are you
what?
inside the waistband?
Even
Are you
for
12 o'clock?
the
on the
men
34th?
and the
Hey, are you under the shoulder? Are you
That's
kicking
what I'm
like
saying.
that?
Like, yo, what?
But
The
even for
holster
the
is
men,
important.
y'all don't talk about that enough. Like, even I see a little. I have one female that I follow that I get a lot of information when it comes to holsters. But even with the men, it's like that everybody talks about the firearm. Nobody talks about what
The
they're using.
holster is
to carry.
important.
I have a belly band. I just said that earlier.
Gina,
I mean, I heard that earlier,
Gina,
but I'm
you wanna
just
hear
talking
something
about
funny?
on a regular for content.
Jenny, you want to hear something funny? And I can say this. It seems like for a lot of guys, it's about the flex. It's like, I got this and everything else. It's like sometimes we put form over function, right? And what I mean by that is just like, I got this, I got that. I was just like, I'm gonna go get 2 new holsters for these guns and blazing with all this fucking bullshit and everything else when I got my old, GWAT holster and that shit still fucking work. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. You
I'm
will
not
end up
handling a
spending.
firearm, but this is my.
You will end
Hey,
up
man,
spending.
you're gonna get shut down, man. This motherfucker guy's
Nah,
good.
it's not handling.
You will end up, and I bring a poster, and I really mean this. If you guys been through it, Fish is not lying about that. Fish is not lying about that.
What the
that
fish put
situation.
down?
He said I still pocket carry sometimes.
Hey,
Yo,
it's
he's
like-
not
it's
lying
like
about
a
that.
Mexican carry, man.
But so holsters, right? The holster game, you will end up spending, and you won't even realize it. You will end up spending more than what you spend on your gun trying to find the right holster for that gun, and you don't even realize. That's how bad.
I think holsters you should what is it? Buy once, cry once too, because you could buy all these cheap holsters and they suck until you buy like now I carry a tier 1 appendix rig every day.
$80 to $100 on this holster, right? And now you don't like it.
Yeah.
And then you get another good holster, $80 to $100, and then you get another holster, then you get another holster, and then you get another holster. Before you know it, you like it.
So just think about this right here, right? All holsters aren't created equal because I got some holsters
don't work for everybody.
Did I just say that? God damn, I'm thinking 30 seconds delay on that motherfucker. Flash the bang time.
Booty tang, it's hot out here. You know, it sure is hot out here.
Daddy day on the da. But you understand what I'm saying, right? So you go from wearing a outside the waistband holster because it's winter time and you're wearing sweatshirts and hoodies and jackets, right? Then in the spring and the summer, you go to an inside the waistband holster. Then you get a motorcycle, so you got to change your holster. Or, now you're driving a different vehicle and you're left-handed. And when you sit down, that holster is jamming you up in your jibs. You don't want to shoot them off. You know what I mean? So now it's just like, well, I'm going to move this to the side and then buy another gun to go on my center console and my door jam. So like Dust said, man, you'll end up spending more on fucking holsters and all that other stuff than you do on your gun that you train and shoot with.
Yeah, but you guys should talk about that more. Then maybe some people might make less mistakes when they're.
But that's the thing, though. So it's
that's a learning curve, Gina.
That's a learning curve. You have to
You
go.
got to go through that.
You have
You got to go through that
You
because
have to
you
go
are
through
the
that.
only
There's-
you.
Yeah.
Especially for holsters and stuff like that.
Did
You
our
are the
members
only
agree?
you. And what might work for you today might not work for you next week.
Because the season changed.
Is Armel agreeing with someone?
No, but that's a big truth, Gina.
I
That's
apologize if I'm a pain in the ass, and I may agree with you, but that don't mean I'm gonna say that I agree with you. I like to bring things from a different perspective.
Nah, absolutely.
Man,
I
you
like
just
to
like
show
to
a
argue.
different perspective.
Yo, bro.
Devil's
It's just
advocate.
right. Holsters are like underwear, bro. Like certain pants you wear with certain underwear don't agree. Like, yo, this ain't working. For that optimal, I found the holster. I've been running the same holster for like 5 years, 6 years.
Hey, so if
This
hostess
shit
is
is
like
hurt.
underwear, man.
That shit is hurt.
Hey,
I need to get another
us-
one.
if hostess is like underwear, man, just free ball it.
Free ball it.
Free ball Paul, man. Go on commando.
Well, luckily I've been able to find somebody here locally to do my Kydex hosting, and I've been very fortunate.
Well, that's good. That's good. But that doesn't mean like, yo, some people don't even like Kydex.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people like leather. Some people like hybrid, where it's a whole different material. It's Kydex on the outside and a whole different material on the inside that's touching your skin or your body.
I did
The other thing though with holsters is like once you find the right holster, you may realize that you can carry a lot bigger gun than what you initially thought when you finally get something that just sits right and fits the body good.
I cannot stand changing holsters.
I like I said, I'm comfortable with the belly band, man, and it works for me, and it works with a whole bunch of different guns, and I've tried like a bunch of different things, but it's not that holster is not the end all be all. You know what I mean? So
Yo, bro,
I have to
holsters-
have a range holster. It depends. It's just like my gun. I don't have a one gun wonder gun. That's why I tend to have so many. But one gun doesn't do it all.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't just like shooting that one, or I don't like carrying that one.
So, and I would say this right here. I would never advocate that you should just have one gun because I think you should have more than one. However, I would say whatever your primary EDC or carry gun is going to be, whether it's one or two, gain and maintain a high level proficiency with them, because again, and thus when we went from the CZs to this to that and everything else, there's a difference in the trigger. So when I go from a HK trigger at 8 fucking pounds, right, to a CZ trigger at 1.5 pounds, your accuracy is going to change because all your mechanics just change. And no matter how well you master the fundamentals, different guns shoot differently. They all shoot the same, but they shoot differently. It's just like different cars drive differently. The same car is going to drive differently in the snow, on asphalt, on concrete, and in the rain. It's just going to you can't get around. You can't get around that.
That's what
right
I'm
there,
dealing with right now.
right there. And integrity firearms.
You drive manual?
I get
Gina, you
the
drive-
new hotness. Say again.
No, I was asking Gina if she drives manual.
No.
Okay.
No, I was talking about my firearms. Like my EDC is the one I shoot the worst. Like I have the worst shot with that one. And I was talking to Joe Vi about it earlier. Like it's frustrating me.
I'm blind as fuck, and I shoot them all the same.
I don't know why. I got some things I'm gonna work on, but it's driving me nuts.
What's up? I mean, it could be you might need to shoot it more.
Yeah.
Or it could just be a gun that you liked aesthetically.
But it's just not. Yeah.
It fit decent in your hand, but it just
It's
not
my smallest one, and it's small for a reason because I want to carry it. My other ones are larger, and I'm just more proficient with them.
That's how the Springfield Hellcat was for me. No matter how much I shot that gun, I never was going to shoot it as good as I shot a P365.
Yeah.
Hey,
I told her.
Stop hating.
I told her.
Stop
it
hating.
it could be it could be ammo. It could be an ammo because the one gun she was talking about, it's a smaller gun and everything else. So smaller guns tend to be more finicky towards the ammo selection and everything else. And then some other things, just without seeing her shoot, just from what she told me, you can start, all right, this is what we need to do. And this is what we're going to try at and correct these. And then we'll get you on there, So again, it's a system. The ammunition matters,
Let me interject a little bit, Jova.
What's up?
Let me circle back. You're saying that the ammunition matters, and the EDC, and we're let me make myself clear. We're speaking about an EDC, right?
Yep.
And this is personal preference, and we're talking. Are we back at talking about this accuracy thing?
No. We were just talking about an issue.
The reason why I asked that is because Gina said that she shoots her new EDC that she got in December, correct me if I'm wrong, the worst out of all her dope ass laser aiming pew-pews. You see what I'm saying?
They're not laser aiming. You being extra.
Yeah, I'm extra.
Also another thing, smaller firearms are harder to shoot.
They
I
are.
Smaller
think so.
pistols are harder to shoot
And
than
that should be a natural thing. That should be a
I've
natural
been
thing.
told.
Should it matter if it shoots better or if you're comfortable shooting it?
No, it shoots. It does its job well.
I like to say,
I don't think it's the
you got to
problem.
treat the guns like you got to treat your kids. They're all not the same. They're very, very
gotta
different.
beat them. You gotta beat them.
They're very, very different.
And for those that are asking, I'm in Ohio, Roadblock. I'm in Ohio, and I have a P365 micro as my everyday carry.
Maybe you need to go to the XL. See what that does.
No, I've got the micro for a reason. What you talking about, Skilly? I told you I wanted something smaller.
That's not
Why
that.
would I go bigger? If I got the XL, I might as well carry my Beretta.
Oh.
But
Damn, she name dropped.
which Beretta would you compare to the XL?
I have the APX A1.
You think that the XL with the 12-round flush magazine, size wise, is the same as that?
I'm looking at the size as far as the size this way, not how long the gun is, how wide.
He's
it
talking
is.
about the width.
I don't.
The width
I
of
want
it.
it to be more concealable. I don't want it to show. That's
Well,
my
isn't the width the same on the XL as it would be on the small one?
not on the one I got. Nope.
So this is the thing, right? You know how you send all your kids to school and they all get different grades, but you love them all? That's how your guns is. You know what I mean?
I don't love it.
I mean, that's how your guns is. They all don't shoot the same. They all don't achieve the same, grades. But they're pretty good kids, though. You know what I mean? They're pretty.
I don't.
You got to work harder on one of them than
Gina.
the other one. You know what
Gina,
I mean?
real quick, you have the regular P365, right? The regular one.
The micro, MICRO, micro.
Well, that's just the first. I don't think there is one called the micro, but it's just the regular P365.
They just don't have them as they're just not everywhere like they probably were at one time, but it is actually called the micro.
It's the 10-round joint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a regular P360. The first P365 is what it is. But it's in 9mm.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider carrying a 380?
Hold on.
I don't
Hold
have
on.
a 380. I have a P365.
Hold on.
I know. But my point is they make that same gun in a 380 and it shoots a lot softer. The same gun.
She has the gun and she's trying to work with the gun, right? From my understanding. And now we can move forward. Roadblock lives in your state. Roadblock is also an instructor.
I thought Roadblock was in Michigan or Indiana.
No, he came to visit me in Michigan, but no, he's in Ohio.
Yeah, Roadblock is in your state.
Ohio.
You might want to link up with them, utilize the community for what it is and what it's worth. And if you have somebody near you that is an instructor.
Yes.
Roadblock.
Do you know where Zach is? Have you ever been visited this way for Zach? Because I'm not far from him.
Toledo, Ohio. That's where he's at.
I just think sometimes trying to work your way through something, the amount of cost it's going to cost you in ammo, and you may not get to that point for quite a while, you might be better off trading in it for something that will work. That's just a theory of mine.
There's no way that this is going to be cheaper for me to get another firearm than it is for me to work with this firearm. There's no way.
Yo, Red Dawn, you ain't seen Gina Collection, bro.
I'm going to hit the person. I'm not hitting air.
Gina, Red Dawn, you didn't see Gina Collection. Gina been in guns for a year and she already had her $20,000 gun collection video.
And she out here talking about the difference in a couple $100 in trading in a 365 for an XL or a 380.
Yeah, she had guns for a year. She had a $20,000 gun collection video.
Hey Gina, what's going on, guys? Girls, what's going on?
What's up, Copper?
What's up, Copper?
They got a question for you, Gina. What's the issue that you're having?
I feel like with all my other firearms, even though I still am working on my shot being tighter, my grouping is really tight. It's not really tight, but it's pretty tight. And with the P365, I'll be all over the place. I don't know if you saw if y'all even really look at my target sheets when I post them on Instagram.
It's better than
I do
Skilly's,
that for
son.
a reason.
It's better than Skilly's.
Man, you shut the hell up.
So what I did for Jova is I circled in red where all the shots went from my P365. So pretty much one of the targets is like all the body shots, but none of them, some of them hit where I wasn't even aiming.
Okay, so
I don't get what's happening.
So one of the issues that you may be having is that with something that's small, because you know the recoil, you may be anticipating the recoil.
I do think I do that a little bit.
You need to be around a qualified instructor that watches you and don't watch what you hit on the target.
Roadblock.
Didn't I say that, Gina?
As an instructor, I look at what you're doing. I don't look at what you hit. So if I'm looking at what you're doing, then I can diagnose an issue that you may be having.
That's what I need.
you may close your eyes right before. You may flinch right before. It's something there. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your wisdom.
No, you're good.
Also, Gina said she is left eye dominant, right hand dominant, and that's another issue. And
that should have you all over the place.
And she shoots with her right eye closed. So that, again, just from talking to her, and like you said, without actually seeing her shoot, those are a couple of issues right there that needs to be addressed and all the good stuff. But 100%, I don't care what I want to see how you're shooting it. I want to see your foundation before I start making corrections.
Yeah, here's the thing. Is that, well, although every gun is different, what a lot of people fail to realize is that if you're ever in a self-defense shooting, what most people don't realize is that you're not going to be paying attention to recoil. You pay attention to that shit when you're at the range. You pay attention to all that kind of shit. So when you're doing a self-defense shooting or something like that, all that shit's out the window. That sight shooting, that breath, all that shit, you may as well forget about it. I did a Sims class, just on yesterday, and I had people drawing from the holster. I had them nervous and everything, and every single one of them said, I didn't even know what the fucking recoil felt like. So once we're able to manage and get what you're doing with your hands and things like that, when it comes to that firearm, then you will be completely good with whatever it is you're shooting. But I'm pretty sure with that little micro that you're probably anticipating recoil. You may be you may tense up, because what I do a lot of times with men and women, when I see them over here, as they shoot, I'll put my hand on their hands to see if I can feel them tense up or anything like that, or if I feel. So it's a lot of things that you can do, but you need a qualified instructor. Now, Roadblock is willing to come where you are, work with him.
Yeah. I do. I talked to, this was probably last month. I had talked to Zach about that because I noticed that I was anticipating the shot. And it wasn't just with my EDC, it was with all of them. For some reason, I got to a point where, because I didn't do it in the beginning, and all of a sudden I noticed that I was anticipating it because I could tell by, I was jerking a little bit because I was waiting for it to happen. And I'm like, why am I doing this all of a sudden?
Anticipating the recoil.
Yeah. And here's one thing I tell people too, I don't tell the different instructors how to teach, what they teach and all that thing. I never teach people finger placement on the trigger. The reason why is, is that if you're shooting that micro 365, and say for instance you go up to, I'm just going to use a different gun like a Glock 17. Your length of pull is going to be different from where your finger is placed on that trigger. So don't get too wrapped up into trigger, your placement on your finger placement on that trigger, because
it's so
if you
funny
can,
you said that.
if you can shoot that,
I don't usually, but somebody that I reached out
Yeah,
to today said I
because
should.
at the end of the day, if you can shoot that gun with just the tip of your finger on that trigger, fine. Then that's how you shoot the gun. People will tend to tell, well, you want the part, the middle pad. Okay, now what if you're shooting a bigger gun? What if you're shooting a smaller gun? Everything's going to be
And it
different.
changes.
The distance.
What if you
Yeah.
shooting at
Kaba, can I ask you a question about that real quick?
Yes, sir.
So a lot of times I know exactly what you're talking about, and I feel like I have different finger placement depending on the gun and the length of pull and all that. Is this something that you feel you can notice a lot too with just dry fire? So because that gun is a different size, when you're dry firing, you can tell if you're having movement on what you're aiming at or what you're doing and where you're placing it, and you can learn a lot of that stuff just in dry fire.
That's what I've been doing tonight. And I can tell from the dry firing because it'll show me if I'm moving, because the when I hit the target, it'll show a line that my hand jerked.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of people tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, all these kind of things. But find one person that's qualified that you feel comfortable with and work with that person.
Okay.
I think
because now hold on for a second, Armel. Everybody who has a gun or who's bought a gun or has been shooting for 2 years or 3 years, they think they're an expert.
Facts.
You have somebody at the range that bought a $5,000 staccato or whatever, and he thinks he's an expert. Range shooting to me is the lamest shit on the planet because you get a false sense of your abilities.
Say that again.
I said shooting at a range, a static target, is the lamest shit to me because you get a false sense of what your abilities are. You need to be able to shoot on the move, shoot under pressure, shoot at a moving target. All those kind of things are going to be more important than the holster and the gun you carry. I mean, of course, you want a gun that's dependable and reliable ammo and stuff like that. But if you can effectively use it or draw it, then realistically, you're a liability to yourself.
I disagree with you, Kaba.
Oh shit!
Look.
Hey,
I'm not surprised.
Kaba, look, that's Raleigh. That's what he does. So let his ass disagree and come out with some bullshit.
What nickname did I give you? Armel? I gave you the nickname Argumel, didn't I?
Argumel.
Now, I agree with you on a lot of aspects of that of what you said, but like I said, so we have this word that we talk about, this fundamentals, but then a lot of the basic, what I'm talking about is basics concepts can be established at that flat range. Like, say, for instance, the trigger control, recoil, anticipation, you know what I mean? Handling the firearm. Now, before somebody go out and shoot on the
hold
move.
on for a second. All right, so let me cut you off real quick then.
Right.
That right there, I 100% agree with. Of course, you need to do your fundamentals and all that kind of shit. You want to learn that
basic concepts, fundamentals, is something different.
Yeah. So that, most doubt, no doubt. But once you get to a certain level,
you gotta graduate.
Anybody who's at a certain level of shooting, they hate the regular range.
Right.
Yeah.
That after they graduate to more advanced levels, they went from kindergarten to first grade, from first grade to second grade to third grade.
So one thing right here, right? Back in the regiment, we used to have this thing. And it's called a training plan or a training path, right? We bring people in, bring in new jumpers, new divers, new drivers, new shooters, right? And you had a training path, right? You start here. This is where the gate opened at, and this is where the gate ended. And a person that would come in, they could be anywhere in between. So you put them in, you assess their skills and you put them in to a corresponding spot, right? And like you said, we start out on the flat range, just working the fundamentals and building a good foundation, those building blocks, and then we would move to lateral movements. And that's one thing I hated. I hated fucking walking sideways and trying to shoot, right? And getting penalized if I shot the wrong individual on the target. I was like, yo, they shouldn't have had their ass there. They knew it was a rough neighborhood. What they doing there, right? That's put their face on the t-shirt. There's like Q, your service is no longer needed. You need to find another job. Like that's some bullshit, right? But you build up on those skills, right? And then you build and you progress. One of the things that I've seen sometimes is that I got a gun for 6 months. I took 2 classes. Now I'm trying to do transition drills and hasty drills and CQB and everything else. And I don't quite have the foundation laid properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go out and I try and tell Gina, it's like, oh, you got to put the fatty portion of your finger on this and you got to do that. And you're missing because you don't have your tongue hanging out to the side. That's all bullshit. You know, it's just like, hey, presentation, roll your trigger, do this and do that, right? How do you shoot? Let me assess you. All right. I'm going to say there's no one right way to do it because different organizations do different things, but there is one set of fundamentals to ensure that you do it better, right?
Basic concepts.
Yeah. Master the basics. Once you master the basics, everything else you can build upon it. And again, shooting at a piece of paper is boring, right? I want to hear some instantaneous feedback off of still. Very few gunfights, if no gunfights I've ever seen or witnessed or talked about are static. They're always dynamic. People are always moving, right? And like Kaba said, it's so much to process and everything else that, like, that's it, man. Kaba, you drop some knowledge, man.
Look,
I might have to write you a check, man.
No, please, no, but for real.
Right quick before I go, hey guys,
yeah.
I appreciate y'all allowing me on the panel. I came up. My wife Sonya, we went to the range, and well, one question for everybody on the panel. With all the years of experience, have you ever went to the range and you noticed a flinch or you were doing something improper? Like, you know, like
I do that all the time.
Exactly. So we gonna work on it all the time. But here's a quick story. Me and Sonya went to the range, and some guys, was talking, and they came up talking and giving her pointers, and I just let them talk. So when she got up there, she started shooting. She was shooting. She's right hand, so she was shooting low left. Y'all know what that means,
right?
She's shooting low left. So I told her, I said, "Look, baby, it ain't shit to it. It's an explosion happening in front of your face. Get ready for it. Get comfortable, and fuck it." And I left. She couldn't hit shit. When I got everybody away from her, she knew the fundamental. She knew what she fucking had to do. When I got everybody out of her space, I went back and looked at that same target, and she was killing it. A lot of people like Jovi say, they give you a lot of unnecessary advice. But like Copper said, get with you a good trainer, and that go for everybody. Get you a good trainer, and kids, keep it simple, stupid. It's not rocket science.
Yep.
It's not rocket science, but a lot of times, people try to go too deep with it when it's really simple.
Yeah. Hey, also, one thing too is get with a trainer whose teaching style matches or complements your learning style.
Thank you, Joe.
Right? Yep. Because you can have the world's best teacher, and your two styles may or may not, work well together.
Marry.
So then you got to go to someone else. That's why, like the good schools and everything else, they got more than one instructor. Because I might have a problem student, and I hate to say problem student, but I might have an individual that's just not grasping the concept. And Kaba can explain it to them better. It's like, hey, look, when you get up there, man, you're gonna grab that bar, you're gonna freak the exit. Make sure your tongue's hanging out. And they're like, haha, that's funny. And then like they do it and they nail it. Now that confidence went like from here to like fuck, what's next? You know what I mean?
And that happened to me. That happened to me, Joe. That happened to me, guys, where I went, took some classes with these motherfucking jump out the airplane ass cats that they supposed to know every motherfucking thing, right? So they, the way they advertise and shit, like, yeah, we motherfucking, you check up their credentials on the Google machine, and these guys are official tissue. But the way they instructed, I may have ADHD, the motherfucking.
Oh, you got ADHD.
I might have ADHD, or I might not process information because out of GY. You know what I mean? I didn't get into that GWAT shit, huh? What's the fuck is GWAT? That's another. I didn't know, and the way they were transmitted the information, I wasn't getting it. I get up there with my homeboy DC Money, and 5 minutes with him was better than, and he ain't never seen the motherfucking a combat airplane parachute or something like that. But it worked better.
Man.
I understood it.
Hey, look,
hey, Armel, you know why you
so-
understood it? Because DC Money is probably from Southeast DC and you from Brooklyn. So that's what you
Public
call
service
it.
announcement.
Same language.
Hey,
Everyone
Gina,
has been here since we started this in February, the beginning of February. I already know. At about that hour 45, Armel just completely fucks up everything.
Real.
You know,
Hey,
I mean, that's
Shit
what
on
he
me,
does.
fuck.
So you know, we're used to this. And I hope everybody else get used to it.
Hey, hold
you
on.
know,
Calvin
but-
got something to say. Go ahead, Calvin.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Kaba.
Gina, question for you. Do you know where your trigger breaks on your micro? Do you know where the reset is?
Yes.
Okay. That could be a reason why, because some people tend to, when they shoot, they let their finger completely off the trigger, and then they slap it, they push it, they pull it, you know. So when you get around roadblock, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll look at all those different kind of things. So it's a lot of variables that go into it. You just need progression of somebody that knows what they're doing to help you, you know, break through whatever it is that you're having. So
Yeah.
it's a real simple thing for instructors who are more about the basics first. You know, I can care less if you keyhole. I want to see if you can consistently do things, you know, with your fundamentals first. Once you consistently do that, and I'll give you an example, is that I can take a student who's new to shooting, who's barely been shooting, they're scared as hell, you know, and I put them on a 22. I'm not going to put them on a 9mm. I'm going to put them on a 20.
I started with a 22.
Yeah, and you know, and what I'll do is that they'll take that first shot, and then I'll tell them, keep your finger on that trigger. Or, you know, once you press it, get your sights aligned again. Slowly come off that trigger, and once you feel that click, get your sights aligned again, and then press the trigger again. You know, to get them used to that cycle, because if they get to doing this kind of stuff, you know, then it throws them all off. You have to walk. You have to slow walk people sometimes, and that's even for people who are experienced shooters.
Yeah.
Hey Gina, how long you been shooting?
Probably it's a year now.
So you pretty much got the fundamentals and the basics down, right? You know.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm about to leave. Your problem is you're giving a fuck too much. Let that bitch ride. Have a good time. Seriously. you
And the
know
funny
what the
thing
fuck.
is, I be wondering that too. I'm like, am I just making
You
too much?
overthinking it?
Yo, when I first started competition shooting, everybody was coming to me, blah, blah, blah. And I was shooting, and I'm worried about not getting DQ'd. You know, this shit going on for a fucking year, and I'm looking at the damn scores. I'm practice score. I'm in the middle of the fucking crowd. This old white cat came up to me. He's like, man, he said, what are you doing? I said, what you mean? He said, you ready to start shooting fast? He said, fuck it. He said, hold that bitch like he stole something and let it go. Say, fuck it. Bro, I said, fuck it. That same match, I came in third. If you got the fundamentals, you got the basics down pat, and we all got to brush up.
Hey,
you know,
Jaden,
yeah.
I guess what he's saying is you got to walk into some place and just say that.
And a lot of it, and I think that's my thing too. Sometimes I overthink it. You know what I mean? Like just sometimes just go to the range and just relax and just shoot. Pull out the daggone thing, EDC, the range, whatever the hell you call it, gun is a gun, and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Let it become natural to you. So it shouldn't matter what you pick up.
Yeah, because you got down the fundamentals, you got the basics, man. Shit. It is what it is. Hey, but look, gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and eat me some damn some oxtails and drink me some cognac. Yes, sir. Yeah, hey, thank y'all for having me, man. Y'all be blessed,
man,
brother.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us,
bro.
All right, y'all.
Hey,
And
Gina,
I
you
think
look like
Roadblock is a couple hours away from me too. He a
hey,
minute
Gina.
away.
Gina, you look like after this live, you're gonna go and get some sleep. So this seems like you got a lot of information.
Yes, it's just
Yeah,
it's really
look,
been frustrating me.
Just
this
have
is real,
fun with it.
but this is real talk though. There are plenty instructors out here, packed out, geared out, best guns, best rifles, all these kind of things. Vet people. Just because they got the best of stuff and man, they got all these credentials, vet people. Seriously. You know, you have to.
Yeah.
It's what worked for you. You're the customer. It's like Burger King. It's have it your way, not the way somebody wants you to be. You know what I mean? Your safety, your life is in your hands. It's your firearm that you pay your money for. And if you want to be good with it, and you're paying them to help you be good with it, they should be worth it. You got to, you know what I mean? And you got to feel you getting your money's worth. And that's with anybody, not just Gina.
Yeah, I do.
If you don't like the way the person talking to you, or you don't understand their accent, or you don't understand their concepts or their terminology, see, this is not working. I need my refund. Pay me my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how
I was gonna ask a quick question because I ain't never took any training from a trainer or nothing like that. How much does something like that usually cost?
Which one?
Just to have someone, I guess, help you fix something in your shop like that.
Free 99.
on average, maybe 25, $50 an hour.
But for real, I learned the trick, man. Discount code, man. Get with some dope ass dudes who are instructors and hang around with them. And they'll notice, oh, why you doing that? And they'll help you out along. And that's shit free 99.
That Armel boy is something.
Go hang out with Kaba and shit. Go hang out with Kaba. Go hang out with Jova. You know what I mean? It's free 99.
It's not the XLJ. It's not.
It's the X.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly. Micro, right? I know exactly which one you have.
Micro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you have. It's that real little bitty one that holds 10 rounds. Yeah, I know exactly which one you have.
3.1 inch barrel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I have that stupid. I have that 365 SAS with the stupid sights on it.
The sides with the Mepro
it's like
light.
the smooth sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's
I don't like that thing.
Here's one thing to consider too, is that like for people with longer fingers, you know, and even with you, I see you have like fingernails. That plays a role in how quick you can get your hand and your finger inside that trigger guard. You know, what I like about like CZs is that their trigger guards are huge. You know, and you can easily get your finger inside that trigger guard because a lot of times people, they got these long fingers or nails like yours. They're trying to get that finger in, you know, in there, and they get all. So it's a lot of variables that go into those kind of things. And if an instructor is not paying attention to that stuff and just looking at your target, not focusing on what you're doing, not watching you, just say thank you, please, and go find somebody else.
All right.
Yeah, also, with that being said, and it's something, it's not just in shooting, it's a lot of times when we as guys or males instruct females, make sure I'm instructing you and not trying to hit on you and get a date, because that tends to ruin everything for everyone. And you know, it's
I wanted to go to Integrity Firearms comment. What is IDPA?
Competition shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can truly learn a lot from Roadblock. No, because me and him talk a lot. So so we pretty much have like pretty similar styles. the way we teach. I'm more about quality teaching than how many people I teach at a time. I want you to feel like you're competent. You feel competent in the training you get, because I'll ask questions.
Yeah.
Like say for instance, if I'm training a woman, a lot of times what I'll do is that I'll say, well, I may have to touch your hands to help place things.
Mhm.
Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I have, like I said, I'll touch somebody's hands to feel if they're flinching or tensing up or anything, and I'll always ask, is it okay before I do something?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I won't be like Joe Valdo.
So and this is one of my shortcomings I got. I am leery about instructing certain people or females in certain things, just because some of the things that we have to do, like you said, I got to come behind you and look at that grip and get up and everything else. A lot of times, the farthest thing from my mind is, trying to hit on you. Because one, if I'm teaching you, you ain't got no money. So, like, shit.
Wow.
I'm cheap. I mean, so I'm charging $2 in the 6-pack and shit. No, but it's just some of those things, because some people will see or have seen like you're giving legit instruction and they misconstrue it. It's like if you're doing first aid stuff and everything else, and like you're assessing the patient for blood, so you're feeling all over people, right? So some people, they'll make smart comments and say shit like that. Now I got to stop and address that comment before it leaves that area. So again, like Kaba said, a competent, vetted instructor that's not about the BS, and someone that instructs to the way you learn, right? Because I'm gonna come out there and be like, left, right, left, da 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 da, GWAT this, Armel, yada yada yada, and you're like, whoa, I'm not here for that. I'm a boom. And one of the good things is a lot of people say, well, what's your preferred method of instruction? How do you like to learn? Right? Are you hands-on? Are you verbal, or a combination of both? My preferred method of learning is the hard way. I learn shit the hard way. Always have, always will.
Yeah. And like Gina, with that too, like when I instruct women, I never stand in back of them. I stand to the side of them.
Yeah.
And if I have to go to the right side of them, I'll just move to the right side. I never stand directly in back, and I don't do that with men either. So I stand to the side. So I'll go, okay, let me look at the left side, and I'm over here, and I'll go, okay, stay in that position. I'm gonna move to the right side, and then so I never stand in the back of anybody, because yeah.
Hey,
Like,
Cobb, question for you. Like if you're doing one-on-one instructions, do you use GoPro? Do you use a one eye to like review stuff like afterwards?
You mean like about video stuff?
Yeah, so like one of the things that we do and everything else is, like, if we're given a block for instruction, we'll videotape it, and we'll videotape it for our feedback to make sure we're hitting our key performance points. But we also videotape it for the student, because a lot of times, like certain things, they'll say, Q, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, I'm not. I've been doing this for years, and yada 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 yada. But that one eye don't lie. I bring it up on the big screen. It's like, so you see, you're anticipating the recoil, you're anticipating this before the shot goes off, and you're dipping, just stuff like that. So I don't know if you do that.
I haven't
incorporate that.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't, and not to say that I won't. I can always, as as an instructor, I'm still a student, so I can always get better.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to say no. I don't need that shit. I'm fine the way I am. If it's something that can help me, and it's helping me help my students, and believe me, all means I'll incorporate it.
Yeah. No, I was just curious. I was just curious and everything else, because I know, like, in certain things in arenas, they'll hey, let's look at the video, let's see, how you did this and everything else. And I was just curious as to it. And it's sometimes it's cost prohibitive to do that, especially if you're running multiple students.
Sure.
But like to do it like if I have I'm not gonna say a problem student. If I have someone that needs additional work like the next day or whatever, you can kind of go back and review it and everything else. If I got someone that's like a rock star, because some of the things that we teach and everything else is just like, hey, this is how you freaking exit. Wherever your head goes, your body's going to go.
I got a question for Ray. Man,
I think Ray's asleep, man. It's past his bed.
Ray, I got a question for you.
What, Armel?
So when you was doing your Leo type thing back in the Smithsonian era, right? When you was doing your law enforcement stuff, right? And you seen I know you have the military background and all. But when you going through training with these young bucks, 21 years old or whatever, that never been around a firearm or is their first thing, how did you see the instructors instructing those newbies, those new young ladies?
What an instructor was because you got to realize the younger ones are always cocky.
Right.
That's the problem with younger people. They're cocky. When you're older, you're more. And I mean, when I went into, I think I was, well, hell, I wasn't young. I was 26 or 27 when I went into law enforcement, but the people that were also going through there were like, younger 21, 22-year-olds or whatever.
That's what I'm talking about.
But they just had a cocky attitude, like they knew everything. I went out there, like I didn't know anything, which, you go out there and it doesn't matter where you go. Like if say I take training from a Roadblock, all right, then I take training from Cava. I'm still going to go out there, to learn. I'm going to go out there, like I'm not necessarily saying that I don't know anything, but it's the fact I'm coming out there to learn from somebody different who's going to teach me something different from the other person, so it's almost like I'm coming out there, which I'm am a new student to him, So that was the thing, with the law enforcement. You had these people that came in there, even though they shot in the backyard or shot out there in the bayou and everything else or whatever, but they came in like they knew what they were doing. And the instructors were like, no, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong, and those were the ones who end up having issues, whose training took a little longer compared to the ones who were there and paying attention to everything, and
so keeping an open mind. Keeping an open mind is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Ray, now you said something that I learned not to do a long time ago. And I'm not saying you do it, but this is what I learned to do a long time ago. I learned to stop telling people they're doing stuff wrong. Because as adults, when we're told we're doing something wrong, we almost check out. So I'll always tell people we're going to try a different way. And now I'm not saying that that's what you tell people, but a lot.
Oh,
no.
No. I was saying that's what the instructor was telling them.
Oh,
me,
okay.
I don't like I do here. I listen. I take it all in and everything like that. I'm not going to tell anybody except for Mel. He's the only one I'm going to tell. They're wrong or whatever. But other than that, that's not my thing. Or my wife might sit there and say, "Well, you tell me I'm wrong." But I mean, that's a different situation. But with that, the instructors were actually, telling the guys, because they were coming in here with that cocky attitude, and they're telling them they're doing it wrong. Now, did a lot of those people make it? Hell no, nah, because they came in there cocky.
Yeah. You said something that's really that really hit me in a good way, in a certain type of way. One of the things you said, you walked in there, even though you knew certain things, you always walked into a new situation as if it was brand new.
Well, that's because it is. Every situation is new.
Yeah, and that's
every situation you walk into is going to be different.
That's the shit I heard all night. That's one of the dopest things I heard all night, because a self-defense situation will be a brand new situation. You know what I mean? And if you handle every situation as if it's a new situation and open-minded, and you have your fundamentals and you have your basic concepts and you may have your advanced training, you should do really well in any given situation.
Here's the one thing I'll say, and I'm going to go plug up my laptop after this. Here's 2 words that everybody who carries a gun need to get used to, and this is stress inoculation. Anybody who carries a firearm or carries a weapon need to get and understand what those 2 words mean. And I think Joe Val will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, and that's a very good point. We didn't talk about it.
Right back.
You know, because one of 2 things is going to happen. You're going to have that fight or flight response and everything else, and then as things get more complicated or as you put under pressure or stress, things get exponentially harder. Right? Your ability to aim, your ability to breathe, all that other stuff. It just gets.
That's a whole live, Joe.
Yeah, but no, he talked about it, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's a whole live. Put them on the email or the panel.
Hey, Armel, man, Armel, how come I can't go on a tangent? You go on tangents. I want to go on a tangent. I want to see what it's like.
Yo, it's a fight for dominance.
Say again?
It's a fight for dominance.
All right. Hey, Riley, I ain't messing with you. No. Hey, Kaba, Armel, my little brother Riley won't let me talk about stress inoculation.
Okay, that's fine.
Man.
That's fine.
Go ahead. Go. You can talk about it.
Hey,
no,
look.
For real, I interrupted him because we want to invite you to be on the panel to let that be the subject of a live.
Oh, hey, well, we'll talk about it briefly.
But real quick, check this out, man. And this kind of messed me up a little while ago with Kaba. All right. So
what did I start?
No, I'm sitting and I'm looking and I see you in the background, and all of a sudden your starts to turn. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck going on? You know, I didn't realize that mirror over there. So I saw you in that mirror and it looked like you was in another room, and then all of a sudden your shit started to turn. I'm like, oh shit, this Joker got spirits.
I'm like, hey, Kaba, you gotta forgive our granddad, man. He's used to, you know, that voodoo stuff and everything else. Now
he's trying to buy you.
That's all right.
Like
that's right,
somebody put Roots on Robert before.
But no, go and finish explaining that, Joe, because that's some good stuff. Regardless of what Armel say, that's another.
It's just so much.
That's still what we can talk about right now.
Yeah, and Kaba brought it up before about shooting on the static range and everything else. There's zero stress, right? So it's easy to perform in a low stress environment. I want to see how you perform when the heat is on, when the pressure's on, when everything's not going your way, right? So now what do? So if my training's hard, the game's going to be easy. So I have to train to that level. And Dude Knowledge brought it up, and I said it before. Very few people will rise to the occasion. Most people will sink to that baseline or the lowest level of training. So if you're not training under stress and under pressure, you're going to fall apart. If you don't do failure drills, or if you don't do stoppage drills, whatever we'll call them, if you don't do hasty magazine changes, when it's time to do it in real life, you're going to stress out. You're going to be like, oh, what do I do now? What do I do now? Right? Because again, we have a tendency, if we're shooting in that booth, we'll drop a magazine, look down, police our stuff up, go load another magazine, do this, do that, take a picture, then go back and engage the target. There's a couple of studies done, and this is one of the reasons why police departments changed the way that they train. They used to go to the range and they would fire a string of fire. They would stop, police up their brass and everything else. There has been several reports of police being deleted from doing that because they got into firefights and they would stop and pick up their brass. There's other reasons that happened, but that was one of the biggest things. Now they say, hey, we're going to shoot, and when we're done, that's when we clean up. But it goes back to that stress. If I'm not given that stress, it's like if you don't teach a kid when they're young, it's kind of hard to play catch up. Right? There's certain things you need to learn while you're young. You know, wash your ass, tie your shoes. You know,
bounce. Never got yelled at, bro.
Yeah, I can see you never got yelled at. Granddad need to yell at you, man, because you always messing with people.
My growing up, it was pure warfare. It was a fight for dominance.
Hey, And I have a question for Gina. Now, what for the 365 you have? You said the reason why you didn't go bigger is why, or why you don't carry a larger firearm because of printing. Is that what you said, or?
Yep.
Okay. Has anybody ever shown you, or what type of the holster do you carry?
The belly band.
Oh, okay.
What?
There
Now
are a lot of
I never used it though. I do have a belt holster, and then I have one that that's like a clip that but you would clip it onto your pants and then you put the holster on there. But I don't have any regular holsters.
Okay. Yeah, because that plays a role too. You know, a firearm that fits your gun, that you can adjust the cant where the gun sits, whether it sits like this or like this. You know, that plays a huge role too. So like me, I carry a 365. I carry the macro. So that's the bigger one. But you can't tell I carry it because how I have it in my holster is canted so far forward to where the frame of it is almost sitting like right here to where you don't see because most people print when you see them print, you see the ass of, you know, the frame.
The magazine.
But that's because most people don't know that with a holster, correct one, if you get that cant going, you can get rid of that print real easy.
And then also where you carry it, right? So like if you do an appendix carry while you're standing, right? And then if you go to sit down and everything else, you can kind of like shift your holster again, depending upon your holster, because some holsters got the little locks where you can't move them on the belt and everything else. But like Kaba is saying, it goes back to a competent instructor, because as a competent instructor, I'm going to assess your needs and say, all right, well, we've decided on the firearm. Now let's look at holsters. And, you know, do you work corporate America? Do you wear joggers? Do you do this? What's your daily, you know, how do you, 90% of the time, how do you dress? What do you do? Right. And then we're going to tailor it for that 90% solution. Now we're also going to go to a 60% solution, because there's times when you just blaze out on a Saturday morning and go get something to eat at the Waffle House, right? Or you go to Home Depot. So I need something I can still carry this thing, but I can carry it comfortably when I'm dressed down or if I'm dressed up, right? I'm going to one of Kaba's event. I'm putting on a suit and a jacket and everything else. I want to wear 226, real nice slim profile, or 1911. It's classy, it's elegant, but I'm gonna carry some extra magazines, right? So all that stuff plays a role into it, you know. There's so much that I have to learn, and that I learned from you, because there's things that I've never taken into consideration, you know. Like I told you, I can't tell you how to carry a gun because I've never been a female, right? Now, if I can get a job because I'm a female, I'll be like, yo, female, pay me. Diversity and inclusion, baby.
Nah, I can't get used. I tried the appendix carry, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I don't do it anyway. I can't do it. I kind of tried it, and I even tried the cant and the over to the side thing. Different holsters, hundreds of dollars on nonsense. I gave it up. You know, it doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for everybody. You know, so you got to find what works for you on your everyday comfort situation and your everyday lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, they have in their household a drawer full of holsters.
I do.
They spent hundreds, thousands of dollars on holsters, and this is no bullshit. I only have 2 holsters. 2.
Ever?
Yep. 2 holsters. Me, I'm not a person, and this is just me. I don't carry one gun for the summer, one gun for the winter, one gun for the fall. I carry one gun all year round because I know I'm the shit with that gun. I don't need to. Now, like Joe Voss said, if I'm going somewhere like a nice event and I want to put on my staccato and all those kind of things, then yeah. But my everyday carry is something, look, I carry that all the time. One holster. I don't need to have a 320 that I carry. I don't need to have a 1911 that I carry. I don't need to have a Beretta that I carry. Nope. Because at that moment, I may forget what the hell gun I'm carrying, and I may go, shit, this one has a safety on it that I completely forgot about.
What is that holster? What is that one holster you use with the macro?
I use the black point.
The black point. You carry with a light on it or no?
I'm not a light guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So and that goes back to what Joe always says. And what are you doing? And it's carrying these firearms is a very personal thing. And all of us have them. All of us have them for different reasons.
Yeah. Now let me say this too. The way I carry for my environment. That's how I carry.
That's right. And it's different for everyone.
It's different for everyone. Now I carry for my environment because if I don't have to, I don't go out at night. So I don't really need it. I don't really need a weapons light. You know, in my house, it may be a different story, but I'm not going to tell that story. But when I'm out, the less shit I have on my firearm, the better for me. And that's me personally.
And I agree with him.
Yeah. Hey, so Calvin,
I'm coming home late. I'm talking about mid 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I'm going on my. I ain't no way around it.
Joe, what up?
A caveat.
I carry a light on it just because I don't want to have to take it off and take it on. It's there if and when I ever need it.
Yeah. To caveat what you said about carrying different guns and everything else, I'm sure. Well, I'll tell you a personal story. One day I went out, changed up guns. I'm just going to the store, right? I grabbed Gun X. And I was like, I got magazines in the truck. I always got magazines in the truck, right? I seen the magazines in the center console and everything else. Well, I had magazines in the truck and they was loaded, but it was for a different gun. Yeah. I'm assed out. So, and that's a real concern because if you swap out guns and everything else, today you're carrying a 365, but you got 1911 magazines in your center console. You asked, they ain't even the same caliber. You know what I mean? So, and that's one of those things about just keeping it simple. It's just like you're never going to make that mistake of grabbing the wrong magazine, right? All I got is SIG 365 magazines. It's like the simplicity of having a Glock 19, a Glock 26, and the Glock 17, right? I got 10 magazines. One's a Glock 26 magazine, 2 are Glock 19 magazines, and whatever the other ones are, they're Glock 17 magazines because they'll all go down, right? That's a beautiful concept. You one of these guys, I got this, I got that, I got that. It's like, yo, you ain't got no magazines. Like, yo, I'm assed out, man.
Yeah, but that's a good, man. And that happened to me with a whole bunch of different stuff. But that just depends on, the individual. Because everybody's situation is the same. I'll probably, Kaba up in the Midwest and Joe Va down south in the dirty, and my man down in Florida. All of our environmental situations are a little bit different. And we know them and we should be prepared for those things. You know what I mean? And our own, in whatever way we think is best for us. Like if I was Skilly, I would be like one of them young boys in Detroit with them ARPs in the pants.
I don't know goddamn ARP, man. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if I was living in Detroit, that's how I be, bro.
Pull out an ARP for you crazy.
Yo, if I lived in Detroit, that's how I be. I had an ARP, man. I'd be like this with the drum drizzy.
You ain't carrying around no ARP in Detroit unless you're a lunatic.
Nah, yo, they tough out there, man. I be watching the news, carjacking and all kinds of crap.
Y'all spending a lot of time talking over the fact Jay said he's sending me a grip.
Yeah, y'all saw that.
So
what's the XL grip?
Yeah, she could change the yeah. That's all you got.
I mean that'll definitely, if your hands are bigger, it'll give you a lot better purchase with the XL.
Well, so
canceled out her concealment options.
Yeah, but keep this in mind. Once you change that XL grip, you have to change magazines.
Oh yeah.
Well, we kind of talked about that anyway because I just haven't gotten.
That's why I would just get the XL slide and I'd run the longer barrel on the short grip, since that's the grip that you because the grip is what you see the most anyway. If you wear it on a belly band, put in that little bit longer barrel, you're really probably not going to notice that much. Maybe the weight, but you won't notice it like really jamming you because you're not having it at the appendix line or like the waistband line. But the softness of the shooting on the XL compared to the regular one, that's noticeable.
Gina, this is what I say: skip that module stuff and just get comfortable with the gun and just keep shooting it until you feel like you're more proficient with it. Because I think you carry the gun because it's small and it's comfortable on you. So that's the plus. I think that's the main purpose of the of your EDC, your personal comfort, whether it's physical or mental.
Hey, Gina.
Now, if you need to go get more proficient with it, practice.
Armel, I disagree.
Hey, Gina. I'm gonna disagree with both of them. You do what's best for you. You figure it out because, again, like we said before, as a man, I'm trying to tell you what the hell to do.
But you're a big ass man with big ass hands and a big ass head.
I never said. I just said if it was me, that's how I would rock it. That's just my opinion.
The Red Dawn Readiness, right? We're not her because we just made an assumption about that 3.7-inch slide.
Well, all right.
I don't know how she carries, so we can't make that assumption.
That's true, but for example, I just give you a quick reference. I bought my wife the P365 regular one, the same one she's talking about. I bought the grip module. I turned it into an XL because the way that she carries, it didn't make a difference. She got a better grip on it. Okay. I had the extra XL slide. I was just missing one of the safety plungers because I have like three XLs. So I had the extra slide. I turned hers into a whole XL, and she does shoot it a lot better. And it is a lot better for her having the XL than this. And that's my wife. So that's the only reason I was giving my opinion because I went through the same situation.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mrs. Red Dawn Readiness. That's not your wife. We have to cater and tell her to her. It's just like we just said. As a guy, I'm going to sit here, hey, you should be doing this. You should be doing that. It's like, no. Hey, what do you like? Let's try this. What fits you best?
For sure. Right? I agree with that.
If I have the means, I say, hey, try this one out, see how you like it. And you know, different states got different laws about loaning guns and shit like that. And you hope you don't get burned or lose one. Try this out. You know, wear this one around, see how this one fits everything else. Because there's 6 of us, 7 of us up here. We all carry probably 15 different ways, right?
I'm not concerned that if it was an XL that I would shoot it better. I probably would, but I want to shoot this one.
Yeah, and that's what we need
to her. Comfort, and y'all goons that y'all not understanding that concept. Because it's always
just remember this is one thing I heard, Armel. This is one thing. Whatever gun you walk out the house with, if you happen to get into a gunfight, you can't go run and trade it out. You are stuck with that gun, and that's what you brought to the gunfight. No, just remember that when you go comfort.
I'm Gucci. I'm good in the hood.
All right, that's the only thing you got to remember.
Having a gun. That's
at least you got something. I feel you, but hopefully you can operate it at a respectable level. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, now I have a question for everybody that's on the panel. Who has actually done drawing from the holster with live fire?
I haven't. I don't get the chance, but go ahead.
Okay, now each of you that done the holster drawing from the live fire from a holster.
Man, who's that black head in the corner?
When you shot, did you pay attention to recoil?
No.
On the follow-up shots, maybe you start to, but not on like your first few shots. Yeah.
Right. So where I try to steer people a little different is stop getting so wrapped up in how soft the gun is going to shoot. In a real life situation, that shit is not going to matter.
It don't.
Your training is going to be more important than how soft that gun shoots. A 3.6-inch barrel opposed to a 3.1-inch barrel. It's not going to fucking matter when you're in a firefight because most of them are going to happen at between 3 to 5 yards, and at that close, and unless you're really a bad shooter, you're going to hit something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
not get too
some
wrapped
of
up.
the other things, real quick, Kaba, is not just like recoil. It's like the pointability of the gun, the distance between the sights. You get a little bit better. You can see that sight
Well, let me
picture a
stop.
little bit better.
Okay, now
Little
let me
stuff like
say
that
this.
sometimes.
Hey, so
No. But let me say this real quick, Joe.
Drop the link for
Uh,
Roadblock.
At the end of the day, this is where when you listen to people, you can tell their experience, their experience level with firearms and shooting. In a self-defense shooting, unless you can post up, you're going
You
to
don't
be
have the
pointing.
time.
You don't have that time.
You're not going to line up your sights. You're going
No,
to be
you
pointing.
Nope.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
so
Ray was saying that. Ray was saying that.
But
Ray
there's
said
also
that.
a lot of different situations to prepare for. Not every situation is going to be within 3 yards, within 3, seconds, within 3 rounds.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You also want to be prepared for the best level of preparedness you can be for when you step out the door. That's
Of
all
course.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Of
if
course.
you do encounter something that's beyond that, and you brought the 3-round, 3-foot gun, that's what you stuck with.
Of
I'm gonna
course.
say this. I'm
Hey.
gonna say this. I've been in 3, 4 real world. Draw your weapon from 3 yards, from arm reach to 15 yards. This is how I train now. I practice with my sights, but I train in drawing and trying to hit what I'm looking at. And if you keep doing that in repetition, that's the way the Cowboys used to do it. And I learned that from a DPS trooper. I'm not gonna say his name. And he told me, he said, we learn to shoot from the hip. He said, learn to shoot from the hip in awkward position and look at where you want that bullet to go. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna go there. It's gonna get in there. As long as it's in a hand vicinity, within 6 inches of that vicinity, you're gonna take down what you need. And I tell you, every time I drew my weapon, and the closest I've been was probably like 3 feet. I was looking at his navel, and I hit probably like an inch above his navel.
Hey, so one thing that Kaba had mentioned, right, where you're not going to notice recoil and all this and everything else, right? There's this phenomenon called temporal distortion. It's when you're in a high stress environment, seems like time might slow down, you might like lose spatial orientation and everything else. It's one of the reasons why they say an eyewitness is the best thing to have on your side or the worst thing to have on your side, because you really can't trust it because you start looking at stuff and it gets that. So when I go and I shoot at a static range and everything else, unless I'm really keyed in, like Kaba was saying, like when you release that trigger on the reset, you can hear an audible click. And most people have never noticed that before until you tell them. It's just like saying, hey, do you ever see the arrow on the FedEx truck? Right. And that's like one of those little games. It's a Kim's game, right? So with that temporal distortion, you're so keyed up and you're looking at that fight, everything's flowing. You will probably forget that you drew your weapon and pulled it out. The only thing you're probably going to remember is that you fired. That's why they say, how many shots did you fire? I fired 5. You sure you fired 5? Because we counted 7. Like, shit, I don't know.
Oh, it happens.
So that's one of those things. So you're not going to notice the recoil, right? You notice recoil in training when you start shooting slow and deliberate and you're getting your follow-up shots and you're doing this. But when you start putting rounds at range and you start engaging that target and you're moving and everything else, you're not worrying about recoil. You're just, index reflexive point shooting, and you're trying to get effective rounds on targets. The flip side of that is if you're in a real gunfight, someone's shooting back at you. So you ain't got time to aim because that's at that conversational distance.
I got another question about that.
So hold on. I gotta go. I gotta go in a minute because my wife gonna call.
All right, hey, go ahead, Reebok. Thanks for joining, man.
Hey man, what's good, everybody? So when I teach my class, you got to get them to qualify or whatever. But like, okay, let's go to recoil real quick. So recoil is one of those words that elicits a response. So it's like you expect it, right? When you say recoil, and a lot of people in my classes, they say kickback or blowback. They are expecting something to happen, so they anticipate it. I try to teach my students, It's just the way the gun cycles. That's what the gun does. It's a cycling pattern. Now, once you understand that this is a cycling pattern, you kind of take that recoil out of your brain. You got to train yourself to get that recoil out of your head, because you're going to actually anticipate that gun doing something you don't want it to do. So when we talk about shooting to qualify at a stagnant range, just shooting, yes, you're going to be concentrating on your sight alignment, sight picture, just like Tackleberry Bug said, when you in a shootout or something happens, you could be on your back firing, you could be on your side firing, you could be down prone. It could happen in any way, anywhere, and you're not necessarily going to be, I got to line up my front sight and my rear sight, and I got to get that perfect. And no, this is not the movies. This is not Lethal Weapon. This is not none of that stuff. This is, I'm trying to save my life. So we are point shooting, right? So we are point shooting. So just like what Kaba said, how many people are like, when I do my defensive pistol classes, normally time we draw from the hip, but we shooting from the hip, and then we bringing the gun up and engage it. So that first shot is low. That first shot is low, and then we're bringing the gun up to the target. So
that trigger back to the 80%. That shot, then walking them up.
Right. So Gina, so when we link up, because I think the closest range between me and you is in Lima, is at Midwest. I just hit you up on IG too, and we can meet there. I try to tell my students, let's not focus so much on being super accurate, right? Because I do aim small, shoot small. I give them the smallest target. Right? And then I say, just put 5 rounds on that target. So they'll put 5 rounds on the target. Sometimes it'll be a little off, sometimes like a paper plate. So sometimes it'll be off, but sometimes it'll be a little high. But then I'll superimpose that onto a silhouette target. And I'll be like, look at all those body shots right there. So let's not concentrate on, oh man, I got to get everything on the X. Mm-hmm. In the shootout, this is not John Wick. You're not putting 2 in the head, 2 in the chest, and 2 and 1 in the head and walking off into the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Going off into the next level. You're not doing that.
Especially if they're coming back at you.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
So into the caveat, well, not the caveat, but to piggyback, expound on what Roadblock 63 just said, right? So when we start talking about recoil, if you look at it from the physics aspect of the gun, you have 2 things regarding, take it easy.
All right, Roadblock.
You have 2 things regarding recoil. You got actual mechanical recoil, and you got felt and perceived recoil, right?
2 different things.
Apparently 2 different things. And we get hung up a lot of times. I was like, oh, first thing I'm gonna say, does this gun kick? So now I already got this mental thing in my mind.
That's why I was gonna say most of it is mental. The biggest thing with having a little bit softer shooting gun than something that beats you up is that you want to take your gun that you're going to carry all the time, and you probably want to shoot it almost every time you go to the range. You may bring other guns, but the thing that you keep on you're going to shoot that often.
Yeah.
And if you have a mental standoff about it, or you feel like some type of way and you're not comfortable shooting it, then you're going to be less comfortable shooting it in that situation. That's my only thing.
I understand that, but that also goes back to having a solid training plan, training path. And what Roblox said about aim small, miss small. So if I concentrate on 3-inch circles at 3 yards, 5-inch circles at 5 yards, and 8-inch circles
at 10
from 7 and beyond, right? When you take that and superimpose it, or if you go get a 6-inch diameter or 8-inch diameter paper plate, and you stick it up there, and if I move that target, no matter where I move that target, it never changes, right? Mm-hmm. So once you superimpose that, the average human head is 8 to 10 inches. So if I'm dropping all those rounds in a 6-inch plate, an 8-inch plate, static, I'm doing pretty good. Now, once I incorporate movements and everything else, hasty reloads and everything else, that shot is going to open up. But if I'm still within that 10 inches, that's damn good, because guess what? I'm still hitting in the chest. You know, I still got the potential to put a lot of rounds on target, effective rounds.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need a headshot. I'm not trying to execute you. I'm trying to stop the threat. Mechanisms of doing that. CNS, massive blood loss. Right?
I'm gonna say this too.
I get a lot of lash back because I carry a lot of people don't like it, but I carry the Hellcat. I done got used to carrying the Hellcat, going to the range, and that's my EDC. That's my main one. I love the Hellcat. A lot of people don't like it, and like Gina said, it's small enough to where with my frame, I feel comfortable with carrying it without it printing. That's just me personally. That's my
Skilly. Here's the deal right here, Skilly, and I think the whole purpose of this is it's not what I like, it's what suits you.
No, I'm just saying as an example. I'm not telling you. I'm saying,
no. I know that, but what I'm saying is I'm using you as an example, right? Who cares what the next man like? What I eat don't make you shit, so you shouldn't care. No, I know, but I'm just saying that because we get hung up on that. Oh, this gun's trash. This gun. That might be the only gun I can run. And then
I think that was the point of what he was saying, Jova, is that most people don't like that gun, and he carries that gun, so he don't care what other people think about it.
Actually, we just don't like Skilly. So
the spider monkey. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I've been dealing with firearms since I shot my first gun. I was 3 years old. I stole my mama 38 and shot it in the floor. Got a whooping. Ooh, I got a whooping. I've been loving guns since then. But I'm gonna tell you like this here. On my YouTube, it's bullshit. Shooting my friends is bullshit because it's for fun. It's for people. Let me make my point.
No, okay, but okay.
I made my point. Just watch this.
All right.
You might see me clowning around. You might see me, but I'm gonna tell you how I really train. What I don't show on YouTube. What I train is I train to treat that tool as a part of me. I don't think about recoil. I don't think about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I can shoot a Desert Eagle 50 in one hand, look at a plate and shoot it. No sights. It's on my YouTube video. You can see it. But I train. That tool is an extension of me. When I up that gun, it's an extension of me, and it takes rounds. It takes practice. It takes. I get my adrenaline up. I run. I get my blood up. I get my blood going. I get my wind off because you don't know what situation that you're gonna be in when you have to draw that gun.
Hey, Bob, what's this right here, man?
What's what?
What am I pointing to?
Your head.
No, cap, right?
Yeah.
I'm calling cap. You said you run.
Hey, Tackleberry.
We can race.
I love you, Bug. I ain't seen you in a while.
We can race. Shut up, Joe.
Hey,
go ahead, bro.
Tackleberry.
Yes, sir.
Now, Tackleberry, I'm on the call bullshit on one thing you said.
Go ahead.
It looks like your mama beat your ass. It don't seem like she whooped you.
Man, my mama.
Yeah, hey, look.
Listen. I got a whooping from my Uncle Punchy, my Uncle Daryl, my stepdaddy, my grandma, my Aunt Zoe. By the time I got to the third whooping, I was numb. I ain't feel nothing.
They get you with the switch, huh? They got you with the switch.
Y'all know the 38 it was the 38 38 special. It's not special, it's the 38 short. It wasn't the Ivory Johnson, but it was the Smith & Wesson break top. I remember the gun like it was yesterday. It was a chrome break top with a pearl handle, a real pearl handle. I saw it. I saw my stepdad put it up on the couch, and I was like, I was trying, and one day I got that couch up. And you know, the couches that turn into the bed, and I got it.
Oh yeah.
And I was playing with it, I cocked it back, so I was trying to put it forward. Boom! And we stayed in a wood frame house in Louisiana. Anybody know about shotgun houses? We had a shotgun house back then. Man, I shot a big hole in that floor. The next door neighbor, Miss Aline, came, called my mom at work. My mama shot home. I swear my whole family was a brigade of people with leather belts. And
so
I was numb.
So that's how I know she beat you, because she had to take off work. And then,
man, she shot home, man. Bro, when I heard them, she got these, you know, y'all remember back in the day, them nurse shoes, they used to have a thick sole, they were white, and they used to make a clunk noise. Man, I heard her come up the step, clunk, clunk, clunk. I said, oh, I'm finna die. Bro, she killed me, dog. But I just didn't get caught no more. I started playing with it. I just didn't shoot it in the floor. I catch a slim. She could not hide that gun from me, man. And, man, I took them lessons, bro, to secure my firearm now for my grandson. Because my grandson, he see guns on Call of Duty. Papa got guns on Call of Duty. and they be want to play with them. No, they're in the safe.
Yo, this has been dope ass live. Kaba, we want to do a live with you on that thing. Yeah, that scientific word. Yeah, that stress inoculation. That just sound ill, yo. It sounds like powerful. But yo, we want to do a live with you on that, and maybe you can talk more about it. And Gina, why don't you panel a live on, you know what I mean, style over function, you know what I mean? Because guys don't understand women wearing heels looking cute. They just like the way it look, you know what I mean? But they don't understand, like, this is what it is in order to produce this type of effect, you know what I mean?
Joe know it hurts because he
Sometimes comfort outweighs function. And sometimes function outweighs comfort.
So, Joe, how you feel when you be wearing them heels, brother?
I feel like an educated Tackleberry bug.
Oh man, it's been a minute, child.
What were you getting ready to say, Kaba? Armel.
They laugh at it, but I bet they
Armel.
like it.
Armel. Kaba was getting ready to talk, Armel. I'm about to.
Oh no.
Go on. What were you getting ready to say, Kaba?
I was just getting ready to, just to let you guys know, I'm getting ready to just go ahead and tap on out here and just watch from the.
Hold on, before y'all go,
we all leaving.
Oh yeah, we tapping out at 10 o'clock.
Before you go, I want all y'all to know, I got a skin cover, tactical semi, fully automatic finger that dial 911 on 3 phones. So you get out of line, you go in jail. That's all I want to say. Hey man, nice live, brothers. You know I got social support, but man, I got to get in here. I hear my baby calling me.
Hey, Bug, I'm gonna call you later on, fool.
Man, call me.
All right,
bro.
my dear.
Y'all the chat today. Y'all win.
Good seeing you, Bug.
All right, man. Y'all take it
Later,
easy.
man.
Gina, y'all be easy.
Good night, everyone. Thanks you for coming in, man. I know we didn't mean this live to go
Hear
this
your
long.
365 though, because everybody be you can't that thing too snappy. I done got used to the Hellcat now. That's my favorite gun. Matter of fact, I own 2 of them, optic and non-optic. That's how I like it.
I'm gonna need to see you shoot it before I give you the hats off on it.
Okay, for sure. Ain't no problem with it.
And I think it really just goes back to what me and Q said earlier, was that, you know, comfort is probably the first thing because you don't want to leave home without it. But shootability, and not just shootability, but you wanna be able to enjoy the time that you're putting into work for that gun. You don't want to go through. You don't. Nah, I mean, you gonna want to be confident with what you're carrying. That's the reason you carrying a gun, is so you can have that level of confidence when you out in the world. Like, I'm not really tripping. I'm confident in what I have. I'm confident in my ability, and you want that level of confidence in your life when you just step out the door. You know what I mean? So, all I'm saying is that's a great gun. I think you can work it out. It sounds like you got enough experience to work it out. But if it ends up being a trainer, 500 rounds, and all this other extra stuff, you may want to just consider getting what. And I'm not saying what to do. I'm just saying those are considerations.
Guys, but yo, you know we got jobs, right? We got to go
Yeah,
to
I hope so.
family, the kids, and I got to go to New Jersey. But yo, thank y'all for hanging out with us. We came on a whole extra hour and still getting off at regular.
Yeah, look, that's your whack ass.
Oh, I thought it ended.
Yeah.
I got a quick
That's your-
question.
All right, go ahead.
Kaba, is that on Instagram about that? The only fashion show I remember was, I thought, for the men or something. No, maybe it wasn't a fashion show. Let me know if that's on your Instagram. And Jay, if you still in here, email me.
Yep,
I'm looking to try the other grip.
Don't Kaba do the fashion show every year? That's sponsored by Kaba, ain't it? His fashion show.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, he has men and
Steel
women.
Carry fashion show.
Yeah, he does a fashion show, men and women, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I'll check out the details on Instagram if it's posted over there.
And guess what? I just found the gas pedal for the Hellcat. So this year I put the gas pedal on it. So I really want to see what it shoot like now.
He said drop the link again.
So I really want to see
You
what
still
it
in
do
here?
with the gas pedal.
Yeah, like I said, I carried the Hellcat, was my first carry, and I shot it a lot, but I'd be just a little low and left, just a little bit, enough that it bothered me that I was like, and then the comfort of the
I
trigger
gotta go.
when I shot it next to the XL.
Later, man.
All right,
Hey, take it easy, Armel.
Yeah, I
later,
gotta go.
Armel.
Oh, you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yep.
hear-
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that the fashion show, I do that. That's a every year thing. That's a men and women thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's done. We're doing that in April, and it's men and women. They're walking the runway. They show how they carry. You know what's taking place this year, and we had it last year. Appetizers, dinners, an open bar, and the tickets. The ticket sales. If you buy a ticket, you automatically you're entered into all of the drawings. So last year we gave away over 10 grand worth of stuff. This year is probably going to be double that. We're giving away a Daniel Defense, a D5, Canik, Matei, and about 3 or 4 different Rock Islands. May have a 43X. I got optics, concealed carry purses, holsters. The Hunter, like the HD glasses, we're giving away some of those. What else? A swag bag full of stuff. So it's a pretty dope event. And
You in Chicago, right?
Huh?
You in Chicago, right, Cobham?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
April what? You know,
Yes,
Chicago
April-
is about almost 4 hours from me, but
Yeah.
April
It's
what?
April 13th weekend.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'll repost the link on my my Instagram too, so you guys can see what it is. And also too, we're having a local Chicago comedian named B. Cole perform there too.
Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
got Chicago. I might have to make my way down there for that.
All right.
So it's a 3-day event.
It's a 2-day event if you want to be involved in that I Am Legends challenge that April 12th. So that the 12th, I'm doing the I Am Legends challenge. So if you guys seen I Am Legend, I'm doing a challenge on the 3rd floor of my building. It's completely empty, and there's about 18. I like different the offices, and you're gonna have to go through and clear each room. They're gonna have like static targets that you have to shoot at. You have to make sure you're in the A zone. But they're going to be live dark seekers walking around. So you're going to have to shoot those too. And it's going to be with simunitions. So if you know what simunitions are, then you're going to be engaging real people with non-lethal rounds. And it's done completely at night. And the only thing you can use is a weapons light.
Wow, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
So that's going to be pretty sweet. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I could do. Because it's
Yeah.
not that. I mean, I've made that drive probably about 3 or 4 times, but
Oh, yeah.
I
it
think
ain't around the corner either.
I think I'm about 4 hours from Chicago.
Y'all not live anymore, are you?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we're still
live.
live.
Oh my goodness, man! Y'all,
Our-
this is 4 hours.
Armel was
yo.
ready to start cursing.
Right.
He'd be cursing by himself because once the live is over, I'm going to sleep.
Okay, all right, y'all, I'm out.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right,
hey,
thanks for stopping by,
thanks
Cobham.
again, man.
This was good though. Thank y'all.
For sure.
Yep.
Be c-
Hey,
thank
thanks for joining us, Gina.
No
Yeah,
Red
thank
problem.
Dawn Readiness, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
you. Okay. Grandpa got to go to sleep. He only been on here for a short time. Grandpa got to go to sleep.
You can kiss my ass, Mel.
Grandpa got to go to bed. On
Got
the
to get
weeknight.
he got to get burnt before he go to bed though.
Nah. Grandpa got to get spanked. Yeah, it's up.
I'm about to slide too, y'all.
All right, take it easy, Red Dawn. Hey, chat,
All right,
thanks for
guys.
rocking out with us. We
Thanks.
appreciate it. Make sure you send those questions to Trinity Arms and Gear at gmail.com.
Yeah, it's right there scrolling by. So if you have any questions, anything you just want to reach out or whatever, send an email.
If you want to donate to Armel's Ritalin Fund,
Armel, my guy, man. Armel let me shoot an AK for the first time. I love that guy. I will always remember him for that.
What's that?
You let me shoot your
All
AK.
right. Well, hey, look, everybody have a good night. We're getting ready to cut this off. Thanks for stopping by.
We ain't about to cut nothing off. You take your old ass to bed.
man, shut it down.
Take y'all, both of y'all. Me and Armel can sit here up here and talk all day long while y'all go